right, I think we're live. Test 1, 2. Test. If you can hear me, if you don't mind hitting that number 1 in the chat box. Hello from Israel. Cool. Myron, Brian, good to see you. Christopher. All right, excellent. So, Zashan, Nate Lyon, I like that name. Norman in Boston, I like it. Myron, good luck. Well, I'm doing okay so far. Evil Shadex, hey, good morning. All right, let's see how this thing continues to play out. It's been quite the eventful morning. I wouldn't say anything too crazy. In fact, right now it could be an interesting short. But once again, I have quite a bit of volatility out there. As always, if you have been here before, friendly reminder, hit that like button. We're going to go for 125 likes today. The goal's been 120 this week. We're going to bump it up. We're going for 125. So like I said, if you've been here before and you know that you're going to enjoy, hit that like button. If you've never been here before, if you're new, welcome. Great to have you. Don't hit that like button because I understand you don't know if you're going to like this or not. Took a small loss after actually being in green, a couple $100. I had to log off. Felt myself trying to chase. Yeah. Don't chase. Good job. Good self-awareness, though. That's always the key. Self-awareness is a good thing. Getting right up here in quite the congestion area of the chart. I mean, you have all sorts of things. You have the yesterday's close. You have the 50-period moving average. You have the VWAP. You have the 200-period a little bit higher than that. But it's not quite getting up to that area. $18,400 is a level that could that be the breakdown point? I don't know. Yeah, 18,400. Is that the flush point right there? If the price can crack through there, is that what's gonna send it plummeting? That's the question mark in my mind right now. So that's basically, in fact, let's get that level mapped out. There we go. So I would say that's a key level of support. And then yeah, all these up here are areas of resistance. So there is a bull. There is a bull pattern, kind of pennant attribute here, but a little sketchy because it is in kind of a overall downtrend right now. Downtrend can be seen via, that right there. Doesn't mean that this bull pennant won't work out, but that's why I'm a little leery on it. Go long for now. Good long for now. All right, sounds like Myron's going long in the bull flag or bull pennant. Maybe he doesn't see it that way, but Myron's going long. I'm a little unsure, and I'm not highly motivated right now because this account, which is the live stream account, traded it obviously off live stream. So I do plan we'll do some trades. I'll put on some trades, but my point is if I'm kind of unsure like I am right now, I mean, I'm definitely not going to put something on. Worst case scenario, nothing ever comes about trade worthy, and okay, I'm closing up still with a nice little day. Hey Lance, let's go ahead. You having a profitable day for you up. So far, so good. Hope the family is doing well. They are doing well. Our youngest woke up with a fever last night, so we'll see if it starts to spread like wildfire, or hopefully it's just isolated to him. Fanaka. Hey, Clay, do you mind sharing how much is in your fund? How much are you trading with? What country are you in? I like your name, but it makes me think that you may not be in the United States. Because I'm asking because I don't want to give you an answer that is actually not relevant to you. The UK. Okay, perfect. It is relevant to you then. So, what I'm doing is called, this is futures trading, but I'm futures trading through a prop firm. And so how much you're asking, how much are you trading with? Well, I am trading with, and you would have, and this is why I asked, you would have the same exact choice. But this account here that you're seeing, and you can have multiple accounts, but I'm trading with 50,000 worth of power, buying power. Then you ask, how much are you trading with? Do you mind how much you're fund? So I guess my buying power is 50,000, but that doesn't mean that I actually have 50,000 or I'm using 50,000, because the way prop firms work is you buy purchasing power. So 50,000 purchasing power would cost you $119. Now there are rules, meaning you can't lose more than $2,000. If you do that, they're going to take the account away from you. But the goal here is to do this. Is when you first join, you have to prove yourself. So you have to take the test. You have to prove yourself. It's kind of like a job interview. After you pass the test, by making certain amounts of money, you move to the pro account. And in the pro account, when you start to make money, you get to keep 80% of those gains. If you go to the Pro Plus account, you get to keep 90% of those gains. So at the core, I am using $50,000 worth of purchasing power, but the requirement to be able to use $50,000 worth of purchasing power for you would be the question, do you have 100, and this is, you're in the UK, so, but I'm talking in US dollars. Do you have 119 US dollars? But you got a better exchange rate anyway. So it actually would be cheaper for you over in the UK because this option is available for those people in the UK. So hopefully that answers your question, but that is what I'm doing here. Does that make sense? So this is definitely the way to go about day. If you want to be a day trading, Pam's plant is the way to go. This is Pam's plant right here. It's just an overall argument for the idea for the strategy. The strategy being you day trade futures, but you use a prop firm because a prop firm gives you all sorts of benefits. And the benefit that I was just kind of illustrating to you was the L here of plant, low capital required. Like I said, if you have $119, you could get yourself $50,000 worth of purchasing power. So that is what I'm doing, Pam's plant. And what I also like about Pam's plant is it is open to so many people. One of the biggest customer service headaches for me for the longest time was people from India, Canada, the UK, and Australia would reach out and be like, hey, I want to trade the US markets. What platform's open to me? And it's like, it was just messy. But now I can be like, hey, do Pam's plant. Use this prop firm that I'm using, Take Profit Trader, and that'll be open to you, and that'll give you instant access right to the US markets. All right, here's the back test coming. Is this going to be the back test and go? For those of you that have been around, you know this is one of our favorite things to keep an eye on. Is it going to come up here, back test, and then will it reject back down? That is the question. But Myron, I think that was the name, from Israel. He was talking about go long, good long. Props to him. Good job. Okay, Myron, let's calm down. Let's calm down. You don't know that. Let's talk humbly. We like to try to be humble around here. For you to say it will be, you don't know that it will be. It might be. It could be. It's plausible. It's likely. Let's talk with a little humility, Myron. You don't know that it will be, because will be includes a certainty, a guarantee. And there are no guarantees in the market. How about leverage? Well, good question. So it tells you right up front. So for the 50,000 purchasing power, for the 119, it's telling you could get up to 6 of the, and this is per trade, you could get up to 6 of the very volatile contracts or 60 of the less volatile contracts. If you went to the other side in the extreme 150, then the most you could get in a single trade of the very volatile contracts are 15, of the less volatile contracts are 150. So that's how it all works in terms of what would your max position size be. ES rising, bearish wedge. Good questions. Yeah, that's why I've, that's my main mission here is I want people to know that if you are in the category of day trading, if you are a day trader or you want to be a day trader, day trading stocks, day trading options, day trading forex, day trading crypto is a waste of your time. Those are pure garbage. It's not worth it. You're taking on unnecessary risk. So therefore you're being unwise in your risk management. It just is Pam's plant, undefeated argument. Undefeated argument. Nobody has been able to beat it. I've been streaming now for a little over 2 months, Nobody has been able to defeat Pam's plant. All people have been able to do is attack me, but they don't attack Pam's plant. The best they can do is, well, Clay, you're a scumbag. So it's like, okay, in other words, a scumbag is making a good idea because you're not attacking the idea, you're attacking me. So is it your position that a scumbag is making a good idea? And then those people always go quiet because I think they're like, oh, yeah, I guess I'm not really arguing against the thing. Most people agree with it, but they so undefeated. If you would like to bring a challenge to it about how whatever you're doing day trading is better, I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear it. All right, still kind of putzing around this trend line. We'll see if it can push up through there. No problem, Myron. It's just a little pet peeve. When people show up and they start saying what will happen, it's like, well, no, you don't believe that. And my proof of that is whenever I ask those people, so you're all in, like your entire account is in. They're like, no. I'm like, well, why? You said it will happen. Why would you not do it? All right, 5 minute. 5 minute looking kind of juicy here. What time is it? Oh yeah, we almost. Oh, this can't. All right, we'll see what kind of candle here closes. The problem is if this is going to come down, it's got to fight through so many supports now. It's got the VWAP there. It's got yesterday's closer. It's got the pink line, hard to see, but the 200 period moving average right there. So this is a nice candle from the bearish side of things, but if this candle is going to take over, it's got a lot of work it's got to do. So from the short side, yeah, you got to love the candle, but you can't really, that makes it a very sketchy short. So if anything, I suppose wait, see if it can clear down through there. Can I switch to the daily chart for a moment? There is the daily. Not a whole lot to tell on the daily right now. Not a whole lot to tell. Other than it's been a wild ride the past few days. Look, look at this volume. Just bonkers. Bonkers. Bonkers, I tell you. All right, we're going back to the 2 minute. Well, push down through those areas without actually, whoops, this should be the 5 minute. Man, well, if maybe you saw something else, I was like, Clay, I think you're being overly worried. That was a great candle. Trust the candles. Good job to you. Well played to you. Again, I love the candle from the short side of things, but yeah, as I explained, all those supports had me worried, but good grief, it just cut through them. To be fair, as I explained, you could wait for those things to clear out of the way, and if you had done that, so if your entry point's like right there, you still had some good room there, but yeah, that wasn't as clean of if none of those moving averages or anything like there were there, and then that sort of formation happens, oh yes. Oh yes. Futures trading is legit, folks. I found Clay 20 years ago trading garbage pink sheet stocks, showing us how to use technical analysis. He's for real. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, futures trading, it is legit. He has weed breaking into the down. Okay, I think that's a typo there. He has weed breaking into the downside, waiting for back. Yeah. I think he had a typo there somewhere. I've also been a member of the inner. Oh, cool. All right, Fanaka. Well, I didn't realize that. Well, so you've been around a long time. Yeah, I would definitely say, and that's what most members are doing because it just makes the most sense. Like most members, the vast majority are day traders, and Pam's plant, it just simply makes the most sense. It's really that simple. It makes the most sense if you're going to be a day trader to do Pam's plant, which again is day trading futures through a prop firm. So that is what I would encourage you to do. And again, if you want to get the discount, support the channel, Fanaka, just use the link that's up at the top of the screen, and then just use code Clay, and that'll give you the promotion, and that'll also, that's just the way to support the channel too. Why is this? All right, I got to refresh my page. So I don't know if it'll cut out on your end, but I just got to refresh something real quick. There we go. My timer was hidden. right. Still watching this. Mapped out this a while ago. I think this is still an important area. And it never quite hit. It never quite hit, to be fair. But hopefully we can all agree that it did. It got close. Again, can I say that it hit off that line perfectly? It didn't. But can we agree? Can we all agree a little bit that the price got very, very close to that line that we were talking about? Just the classic back test, and then it ended up going down low. To be fair, though, if your entry point was, no, I want to get in right at the trend line, then yes, you did not get filled. So we got to keep things as fair as possible. But broadly speaking, to the people that are like, no, I don't want to wait to the trend line. I'm willing to anticipate it a little bit, get in front of it. I mean, right there it was. I did want to get this drawn into play here. So if this fails, do we get a move down to right there? I might take that just to put one on the board. I mean, we got people here. We got to get something traded. So yeah, what would my stop be? So I get in right there, 28. Now the risk profile is changing on me. Even if I got in like down here, no, that's so 45, and my stop is up. Man, that's like 40.2468, $80 risk. I mean, that's fine. Here we go. All right. Now I can get a tighter stop. Let's just try this. Lower probability trade. If I put my stop. I'd prefer to be up over 500, but now if I'm up over 500, I'm right in front of the pink line there. I like this setup a lot. It's just I'm trying to find a right. Let's see. What happens if I just play the yesterday's close? So 85 up to a stop of, so that's still 25. Yeah, that's about $50. That could work. Morning Clay, had a blowout yesterday. Is that a good or bad thing? Like you did really well? Hey Elon, and I saw you join the community. I don't think you've introduced yourself yet in the lounge, have you? But yeah, thank you for joining, Elon. That's awesome. I saw an order coming from you yesterday. I would add more margin. No, there's no margin, Myron. That's the beautiful thing here. You get what you get. So 150,000 purchasing power. I mean, this is plenty. This is plenty of whatever you want to call it margin, but that's it. You don't add anything. You just 150 purchasing power gets you either 15 NQ contracts or whatever of the volatile ones, or 150. That is plenty. That is plenty of wiggle room. The ES was leading the way. That's why I called it out. Okay, yeah, no. You called out a weed, which is I was confused. He has weed breaking into the... Okay, now he has wedge. Breaking the... Gotcha. Okay. That makes more sense. Maybe I probably should have been able to put that together that you meant wedge, but... Oh, send me an email. All right. That's Elon, send me an email and I'll get that taken care of, and I'll have to reach out to the website people. There is something with that. Yeah, drop me an email. And I'll send you a link to a custom, and we'll do it the manual way. And then I'll work on that. So yeah, my email, you have to look it up. Well, that was a nasty, nasty move there to the shorts. Broke down a little bit and then back up. Like I said, I just was not liking that. I couldn't quite structure a proper risk profile for myself. I have the setups and the right levels, but those dang wicks, yeah. Yeah, the wicks, they'll get you. That's why wiggle room. Wiggle room is important. But to be fair, sometimes even with wiggle room, the wicks do indeed get you. Still fascinated by the trend line. Because I think with we can get a close down below this trend line here, then I could see it again. No guarantees, but I could see it drifting down to that 400 mark. But at 400, that's where things get really interesting. So size. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but yeah. With the prop firm, you pick what sort of purchasing power you want, and it tells you what kind of size you can get. So for the 50,000 purchasing power, you could get in a single trade. So every trade you take, you could go up to 6 contracts of the very volatile ones or up to 60 of the less volatile ones. So that's what's telling you, it's just mapping out the position size right away. So yeah. Close down below that line, I think, brings it down to 400. But 400 is definitely the interesting level because if 400 breaks, again, I'm not saying it drops straight down there, but really next level of support is not until down there. So you have yourself quite a bit of open space where the bears could find some momentum. So here is going to be the test. There it is. And since you bounced right off that level. So I'm interested in this, but I'd like to see it go sideways a couple so I can get a nice risk. Because right now, I mean, if you short right here, what are you doing? Like putting your stop way up there? Like what? That's a big old risk profile. But if it can come down here, level out a little bit, and then go, it'll give us a nice little area to put a stop and keep our risk profile, much tighter. If I would go the opposite of what I know to do, I'd be rich. Start it. Give it a try. Give it a try. Maybe that's the holy grail. Whoa, what was that? What time is it? 11. Was it what news is at 11? Tradove just froze up. This candle is not moving. What is at 11? I didn't know there was what news is at 11? Let's see. There it is. Just FOMC guys talking. Well, what did he say? I mean, it is 11. Look at that, right off of that level. Well, yeah, obviously he hasn't said anything. It says 11 when it's supposed to start. So, wow. All right. Well, that was quite the... quite the move there. Yeah, that was wild. But in some ways, just another day in the world of futures. I mean, but he just started to talk, right? Or has he been talking, Judd? Can you add more? I think you already asked that. Well, yeah, if you want to add more contracts, Myron, all you do is you get a larger account. So if you're looking at the 25,000, you're like, well, I want to do more than 3. Okay, then come up to the 100. Now, if you're saying I want to do more than 15, no, you don't, Myron. What are you talking about? 15 is plenty of contracts. Like, trust me. Like, you definitely don't need more than 15 contracts of that variety. I don't. Maybe you're thinking of like, options contracts or something. No, futures move and they move very quickly. Like if you had 15 of those highly volatile ones, like this is like tens of thousands of dollars that you would have made in like minutes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't. Hey, James. I got a feeling it's going to go up hard. Well, I don't know when you said that, but if it was before this spike right here, good job. Now, it didn't last, but Soak Parasite. That's an interesting name, but good morning. Yeah, getting past 3 on the mini is... I hear you, Brian, for sure. Again, if you have not yet, make sure you hit that like button. We're going for 125 today. So hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell too. Because from my understanding, if you hit the notification bell, it'll alert me exactly when I go live. So I know I said I go live at 11 a.m., but I've been showing up early. So if you want to know exactly when I go live, as I understand it, by subscribing and then clicking the notification bell, it'll also tell you. This is interesting, yeah. Or maybe I just do. I try this for a quick scalp. I guess I could just do this now and put my... So see if I can catch momentum, and if it snaps back against me, so be it. Yeah, I'll do that. A little bit of a chase, but hopefully it keeps going. If not, like I said, small little loss. I won't want to see it come back to here, though. So let me... I'll get in there with a stop up above that level. So it could very realistically snap against me, but that's fine. Okay, in. Let's see if we can get some more push to the downside now. Or is it going to snap right back up and take me out? And out on that one. So, all right, well, try to capture. Thinking that might have been the move. It didn't, came back up. And yes, why such tight stop? Well, like I said, for me, that was either I was right that was the move, or it wasn't. So it still may be a broad move, but at that exact moment in time, I was wrong. That was not the move. Yeah, I was wondering where you were, Andrew. Well, didn't see you last night. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, you're gonna go up hard, Myron. But I don't know, Myron. You got to start. You got to put your money where your mouth is. Let's go. You got to get yourself a prop firm. Start trading. Let's see it. Right now, it seems like you'd be crushing it. I don't know. Maybe Myron is that Fed speaker. Maybe he knew what he was going to say. That's how he could say it beforehand. Because that was just kind of a random call. I feel like it's going to go up hard, and it did. So yeah, generally speaking, I was right, but my timing was just slightly off. Now, would have been very impressive, Myron, if you said, I feel like it's going to go up hard and then get rejected and go straight back down. That would have been super impressive. If you had added in that it was going to go up hard and then come back down. Then that would have been like, I would have thought you were sent from the future. Like a cybernetic organism where you're searching for John Connor, you know? But still, good call. Good call. Go ahead and get rid of that level for now. Could be a nice short right there. Stop above there. I'm not going to take... I want to see another candle. This thing needs to take a little bit of a rest right now. So, show me a green candle. Ideally, if it were to come up here and bounce its head on that level and then come back down, that would be nice. That would be ideal. But we'll see if it's... the market doesn't always give you what you want, unfortunately. Come on, don't do it. Don't do it on this candle. Just stay above. Stay above. Give me a little bit of green. I'd like to see a bit of a bounce and then for the price to come back down. No. There you go. I mean, I suppose you could be getting short right now and you got to stop above the high. So, I mean, not a terrible risk box. And if you get the plunge, you're going to be, I mean, your risk reward would play out just fine. But this is a 2-minute time frame, so every 2 minutes a new candle will start. So I mean, this one's probably gonna be done here pretty soon. You can get countdown timers, but so each one of these represents 2 minutes. Off screen, I am looking at other time frames, so just keep that in mind. Multiple time frame analysis, in my opinion, is key. There we go. All right. Now, what I would love is if this thing comes up and then comes back down. And then I will take that on the short side. In fact, I like that so much that I'll do an NQ scalp. if it wants to come back down. There we go. But now it's seemingly, maybe this has got some actual legs. It's going to make a bigger push. But that is exactly why I did not want to get short at that moment. I wanted to wait. Let's see some sort of candle. Because to get short right there, those people, I'm not going to say are out, but they're probably feeling a little bit, uh-oh. Yeah, right off the trend line. So this trend line definitely verified now as a level that you got to think a lot of people will continue to watch moving forward. Is the chat box broken all of a sudden? All right, let me try something here because nobody has said anything. Top chat. Oh no, I guess it is. Okay, I guess just nobody's talking. Yesterday I learned a couple things about the chat, but yeah, I guess everybody just went quiet in the chat. There you go, SM. Thank you. Check. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, this remains in play, and I would think at some point in the live stream we'll see this come into play again. But who knows if this thing's going to go straight up? Maybe an hour from now, this trend line is going to look like a distant memory, just only existing in our minds. Hey, Elon, did you send me an email yet? Now, if this thing comes all the way back down there, that's going to be getting really spicy. Because think about it. If you were a long and you captured that move, how would you be feeling as a long? You'd be feeling great as that thing bounced. You'd be, let's go. This is great. I made such a good decision. But if all that disappears, now ask yourself, how would you be feeling? Probably not too happy, frustrated, angry, bitter, upset, depressed. And if you're a short, those are the type of emotions you want to be feasting upon. So if this thing disappears, now, in my ideal world, again, I would not take it short here because the stop's got to be all the way up there. That's a pretty big risk profile. But if this thing can come down here and then just start to go sideways a little bit, give us a stop right there, and then you take the break, now you have a very, very small little risk profile right there, but you have a whole lot of upside potential. But yeah, if this were to come all the way down here and break, yeah, I can't. Even on the next candle, I want to see it build out a little bit of a consolidation so we can bring down a risk profile, and then ideally be able to play one of those breakdown or get outs. Oh, I don't know if the mic picked that up, but that felt great. Oh. Man, I feel like a new man after that. I feel like a new man. Did you hear it? Then you understand. All right, I'm going to do something real quick for Elon. Let's see. Okay. All right, Elon, I'm going to email you back this. Click on that, and I don't know if that'll still work, but it'll get us to the next phase, which then it should work after that. So I just sent you a link. I'm assuming you're here. I guess I don't even know if... Okay, back down it goes. But like I said, can't take it here. That seems too much like a chase, and I just don't like the risk profile on it. There you go. Nice bounce right off it. Good. Good. Give me one more candle, and then let's see the break. Popping my neck like that would trigger my vertigo. Oh, well, then you better not do that. Don't do it. We don't got time for vertigo. Okay, good. Right off the line. Don't do it on this candle. Come on. Come on. Go back up. Again, if you short here, I mean, I guess, could you put a stop maybe right above there? Okay, now I have a tight stop right there, so... No. I want minis, or micros, excuse me. All right, in, stop, up there. Okay, are we going to get a plunge? Or is this going to be another one that just suckered me in? Let's see. Oh, come on. Is it going to release? That's it. There we go. Come on. Well, got my hopes up a little bit. Oh. It's toying with my emotions. There we go. Let's get this slightly in the green now. So this will be a winning trade no matter what. I'll just move my stop as it goes. But it will be a green trade. Now I just don't know how big of a green trade. Come on, push down some more. Oh. Oh, you dirty rat. Well, I had it. I mean, it was still a green trade, but I did not get any more. It just did this not. That's brutal. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. I played it right. I mean, I was there. I had my stop. It was in the green, and it was just a question of, are you going to keep flushing? And it didn't keep flushing. Took me out. Again, still a green trade, but I did not get the movement. All right. Well, now some people are like, Clay, I think you're a little too aggressive with the stop. That's fine. Some people may have their stops up here, and they're like, just give the thing time. Give the thing time. Yeah, there's many ways you can skin a cat. So those people may prove to have been the right choice there, but I was wanting to go long on those low. Judd, are you in Pam's plant now? You were asking some questions yesterday. Judd, in the chat, met him in person. Good guy. Been part of the private community for a long time. Come on, Judd. He's just, I'm still working on him. I thought I was stubborn. Judd's making my stubbornness and Ranger Walker's stubbornness look like patty cakes. He's in love with SPX. Telling you, man, if you just try it, you'll never go back. Timothy Franklin. Yes, that was a short. That was a short. So for any beginners here, shorts mean you make money if prices go down. So if you hear somebody saying they were shorting something or they went short, that means they want prices to go down in order to make money. And if prices go up, that's a bad thing. Yeah, he does have a long army. I'm a firm believer in Pam's plant. All right, Emmy. Just having troubles getting across. Yeah. Well, it just comes with the territory. I'm just glad that, when people are, if they do dumb things or if you get stuck in a crazy move, and it's not even your fault, it's just a big spike, it's just something crazy. I like to know that the risk is very controlled because your only risk is the amount of the account. Not familiar with your platform here. Are you watching RSI and MACD? I'm not. I'm watching mainly candlesticks. Candlesticks with some trend lines and some moving averages. I'm not that smart, so I deploy the KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Because I'm pretty stupid. So I got to keep it simple. Now, why is that? All right, let me try refreshing. All right, there it is. So to be fair, the people are like, Clay, dude, chill out. You got a little aggressive. Give it a little bit more space. Give it a little more time. It's seemingly they were right. Seemingly, because it's not like it went down that much further. Like I said, my premise was it going to get going? And it did. It did, quote unquote, get going. So that's what allowed me to move my stop down into the green. The problem is it just didn't keep going. So it got going. It didn't keep going. And that's how it works as traders. You know, first step is the thing's got to get going. But will it keep going? Michael Mansour, 190 on that one. Good job, Michael. Up 3,800 on this 250 or on this 150K test account today. 1,500 the last 2 days. Futures ain't so hard compared to NVIDIA. Okay, the Strand. Okay, I think we have another new convert. Because I understand people here that, you know, they don't want to believe me about this stuff. But the Strand in the chat room sounds like, and I don't want to speak, so correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you used to day trade stocks because you mentioned NVIDIA, and you used to day trade Bitcoin. But now you have transitioned to Pam's Plant, which is an argument to trade futures through a prop firm. And it sounds like, is that correct, Strand? Or are you saying that day trading futures, aka Pam's Plant, is way better than day trading Bitcoin or day trading stocks? Is that what you're saying here? I don't want to speak for you, so correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, I'm sold. There we go. Thank you for it, Stan. Okay, all right, good. No, you're good, Elon. That's so let me now try this real quick. There it is. All right. All right, now try logging out completely, Elon, and then back in. And you should be good. There is the back test. So again, we have another one of these potential, do we get the back test and go? I suppose I could be getting short right here with a stop above the 21 EMA. I don't know, though. This is kind of choppy. I think there's some buyers hanging around. Down here. I'm going to pass on that one for now. Jorge, what platform am I using? RSI and MACD are easy. RSI over 50, price increasing. Under 50, decreasing. MACD. Yeah, Timothy, if only it were that easy. Like, unfortunately, because I was there too. I remember the MACD. Oh, you just buy on MACD crossovers. If only it were that easy. I'm not trying to be the guy that rains on your parade, but I'm going to kind of rain on your parade because I care about you. I want to give you the truth. What you just described there, you're going to find that it's not quite that easy. RSI, over 50, price increasing. What I'm saying is, if all you're going to use is MACD and RSI, that is very simple. The problem is that's too simple. So you don't want to get overly complicated. You don't need 87 different indicators and 400 different moving averages. So you don't want to go to that ditch. But the other ditch is like what you're saying is, well, just use the MACD and RSI. That's it. And you just buy when the MACD does this and you sell when the RSI is this. If only it were that easy. So that is a bit too easy. Well, in the first blown accounts was all my fault. Went into deeper degen mode, revenge trading. Just thought I was God's gift to trading. I mean, I'm telling you, you would benefit from the community. I haven't pressed you on that because, to be fair to you, you said, given your personality, You like to do one thing at a time. But I try to tell you then, and I'm telling you right now, you would find the community helpful. You would find it helpful based on what you're saying. So I understand what you've been through. You've explained that. All I'm saying is, I was trying to tell you, like, it would complement what you're saying very nice. So I hope you consider that. What trading platform am I using? So Jorge, the platform I'm using is twofold on that question. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm using a platform, or I'm using a prop firm. So the prop firm I'm using is up at the top there, Take Profit Trader. So if you want to support the channel, you can use that link and then use code Clay. But the first step of the process of what I'm doing is you got to pick out how much buying power do you want. So you select your buying power, and then during the checkout process, they're going to ask you, well, what platform do you want to use? The platform that I'm using and that you see right there is Tradeovate. And the key thing here is that you don't need to go to Tradeovate and set up a new account. The nice thing with the prop firm, again, just a time saver, they're going to go and create the account for you, and then they'll email you your username and password, and then you log in and you're good to go. So very, very convenient, very not time consuming, but that is what I'm doing. Step one, I'm using the prop firm. I'm using Take Profit Trader. And then after that, when you choose what sort of purchasing power you want, then you come down here and the one I'm using is Tradeovate. Now you can use other things, but per your question, I'm using Tradeovate. Well, I was wrong. I was like, I don't know if I want to get short. It seems like there's too many buyers out here, and boop, back down it went. So I read that one wrong. Hi, Clay. What is future trading comparing to stock trading? Nurola? Are you still here, Nurola? The biggest thing is, let me ask you this. Do you have $25,000? So actually two questions. Do you want to be a day trader? Do you want to day trade? And do you have $25,000? I know that's getting kind of personal, but that's where we'll start. So yes is in regards to you have $25,000? I don't have. Okay. So the big difference for you as far as Pam's plan is concerned right here. So it's already, Pam's plan has already kind of won the argument against, not against you in a malicious way, but just trying to help you out, is the first thing of Pam's plan. So if you want to be, you asked, what's the biggest difference between stock and futures? Well, in the world of stocks, unless you have $25,000, there's this thing called the pattern day trading rule, which means you can only have 3 day trades. A day trade is something where you buy and sell in the same day. You can only get 3 of those every 5 days. Yes, you're only allowed to buy and sell in the same day. You're only allowed to do that 3 times every 5 days because of the pattern day trend rule. But in the world of futures, the pattern day trading rule, known as the PDT rule, there is none. None. So right there, that's the biggest difference for you in the world of, the determining factor is easy right there. If you want to be a day trader, that's why Pam's plan is for the category of day trading. But if you want to be a day trader, well, you've got to be able to day trade. And I would argue you should be able to day trade as much as you want. And with stocks, you're not allowed to do that unless you have the 25,000. But in futures, you can because there's no pattern day trading rule. But you also want to do it wise, and that's where the plant comes into play because that's the prop firm stuff. So that's why I say trading or day trading futures through a prop firm is truly the best way to go about it. I don't buy on crossovers. I buy RSI grade. I mean, that's fine, Timothy. If you have data, if you're saying to me, Timothy, listen, Clay, I've been trading for 10 years. I have this data set, and all I do is what you just described, which to me sounds a little overly simplistic. But I'm also open to the idea that I could totally be wrong. So I mean, if you've got data, and because you've been trading for years, and you have all this data, and you're consistently profitable, and your account is growing, and it's been growing for the past 10 years because of what you're doing and just doing something that simple, then I take a step back. I will say, hey, I was wrong. You were right. Congratulations on doing something so simple and having it work. So if that's the case, then like I said, I'll gladly eat my words and apologize and say, yeah, I was wrong. You proved me incorrect. But everything I've read from you, Timothy, it sounds a little too simple. But if you have the data to back up that it's been working, like I said, years of data, and you have all sorts of trades. Okay, I'm open to that. As traders, you eventually reach the point where you're like, yeah, I'm okay with being wrong because I just want to let's figure out what works. What are your stocks to watch during the current state of the market? Dylan, I don't watch any stocks because I day trade futures for the reasons I just discussed. So like same thing for you. I know you probably asked that before. I went through it, but like Dylan, my same question to you. Assuming you want to be a day trader, Dylan, do you have $25,000? I'm assuming, again, I'll let you answer that, but that would be where I'd start with you, Dylan. Is day trading stocks is stupid. It's a waste of time. It's garbage. It's inefficient. You're taking on way too much risk because even if you're like, yeah, I got $25,000. Well, that's still all your money on the line. So if something crazy happens, poof, that's all your money gone. But with Pam's plant, it's not all your money gone because the A of plant is risk control, meaning you protect your money. So even if you have some of those crazy movements with the prop firm, so let's just say then 25, something crazy happens and you lose 1,500, yes, they'll take the account away from you. You lose the account. Now you can always get it back again, but the question is, well, did you actually lose $1,500 out of your pocket? You didn't. You only lost the cost of the account, which was 105. Whereas if you're doing stocks and you're using all of your money and something, again, let's just say you're not even behaving badly. Let's say you're not on tilt, you're not revenge trading, you're just going about it and then something crazy happens and boom, you're down 1,500 to essentially no fault of your own. Well, that's literally $1,500 of your money. With the prop firm world, it's not $1,500 of money. Sure, you lose the account, but you only lose it, which means the cost was 105. So that is just why I say stocks are garbage. Like even if you have more than 25,000, you're still taking on way more risk than you actually need to. So yeah, it truly just does not make a whole lot of sense. I know I'm a little behind in the comments, so I'm not ignoring you. And I should note that $5 super chats, I'll see the comment right away and get to it right away. Not that you have to do that, but that is a way for me to get to your comment immediately. We're at 49 likes. Can we get up over 50? So if you have not hit that like button yet, make sure you hit that like button. Man, we're just kind of putzing around here. Getting pretty choppy right now. It was looking good for the longs, or for the shorts. Then it came back up here. It was looking good for the longs, back down. Now it is looking back. It's looking pretty good for the longs, but is this thing about to come back down? I think this trend line has had its day, so we're going to get that out of there. Ace trades. That is 2 books worth of info. Most folks that do stocks eventually move to futures. Yeah, no, Ace trades is right. Like everybody, somebody once said, everybody eventually ends up in futures. And it is true. It took me way longer than it should have. I'm still very ashamed and very kind of irritated at myself that I was that stubborn, but I finally did it. And then the prop firm dynamic, 2 things have made futures game changing. One was the invention of the micros. So what I would recommend starting is the MNQ. Now, until like 5 years ago, it was always the NQ. So there was a little bit of a flaw in the argument where, yeah, just go do futures. Just go do NQ. NQ is a volatile beast, like very, very volatile beast. But now with the MNQ, it's just a way to reduce that risk. It doesn't move as much. So sure, you're not going to make as much money as what an NQ could, but your risk is much more controlled. So adding in the MNQ, the micros, game changing in my opinion, and then you add in the prop firms and even more game changing for the reasons I've been discussing. But yeah, at this point in time, all exaggeration aside, it literally makes, and when I say it makes no sense, I mean that not in an opinion standpoint, but like a mathematical, and math is just logic. So like in a logical, backed, mathematically provable sense, day trading anything other than futures in a prop firm doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't because of that risk component. Like you're taking on all that risk yourself. Hello, Clay and everyone. I pray that everyone does well today. God bless you. Thanks. Same to you, childlike. Yeah, even Robinhood and Webull have futures. Yep. The only difference there is that you're using your own money for that. And using your own money in futures, you are a nutcase. In my opinion. I think that's very, very risky. Now, if you are like a battle-hardened, proven trader, there's exceptions to every rule. But like if you're struggling, if you're brand new, just getting started, using your own money in futures is wild. It is not smart, I would say, because of that risk component. All of your money is at risk. If you get stuck in a crazy spike in futures, with the prop firm world, all right, I lost the account. I lost $100, and you can always get the account back. But if that's your real money, could be bad, could escalate quickly. All right, potentially some shorts up. Actually, what would that be? So short there at 90, stop over there. So about 25 points. So that's 40 for about 45. So about $50, maybe. I might take $50 risk on that one. D-Dare, highly interested to join, but can you allay fears of newcomers about a lot of negative reviews of TP online? Some actually tag them. Yeah, no. They're not. Okay. D-Dare, and this is coming from somebody that I've been around since 2013, and I say that because I have a very unique perspective on conspiracy theories and stuff like that, because the one person that would know if a conspiracy theory or kind of the way some people behave online is true or not would be somebody like me, because this will sound foolish, this will sound goofy, but I promise you it's true. And long-time people, there are conspiracies out there, or at least there were, that I am a mastermind of a penny stock shorting hedge fund, and that me and my group, we short penny stocks, and these penny stocks go down, and that's the reason why, is because and there are legitimate conspiracy, like that's what some people say, and some people believe it. But I'm in the unique position because I know whether or not that's true, and I can boldly say that's not true. So that's just my long way of saying there's two sides to every story. Now, to be fair, Take Profit Trader right now, because they're such a great company and they have such great rules and payout policies and all that, they're growing, and they're growing a little too quickly of what they can handle. So they're experiencing some growing pains right now. But as far as them being a scam where they don't pay you or anything like that, completely false. I've been paid by them on multiple occasions. Members of my community have been paid by them on multiple occasions. So they pay. They're not a scam. Yes, they're going through a bit of a rough patch in terms of hiring more people so that they can deal with it, because they've had very explosive growth. They've changed a couple rules which have made them that much more popular. So hey, thank you, Childlike Innocence. So they are not a scam whatsoever. Like I said, I've been paid by them multiple times. I've seen the screenshots of other people being paid by them as part of my community. So not a scam. But a lot of people out there, they just don't read. They don't read. In fact, we had somebody last week. They're like, oh, they're a scam. They're scamming. What kind of? And I said, well, did you read how things work? Well, no, not really. I skimmed. So you didn't actually read how things work. You skimmed, and now you're going to call people a scam. So people jump to the word scam a little too quickly. But they are 100% not a scam. They are, like I said, going through some growing pains right now. But they'll get there. They'll hire more people. It's a good problem to have from a company perspective. But at the end of the day, the thing that matters most is, do prop firms pay? If you make money, are they going to pay you out? Yes, they do. Childlike Innocence, that's so kind of you. Thank you. You are right about the volume and the momentum in regular stocks. I have been waiting for my setup since 7:30. So, what's holding you back, Childlike Innocence? Get in the world. You're using charts already. So if you're using charts already, just use the charts instead of using charts for stocks. Use them for futures. Yeah, D-Dare, and you're right. You're reasonable to be a little hesitant, because there have been prop firms that have been total scams. The CEOs take all the money and run. But I only have two affiliate. I only talk about two people. I talk about Take Profit Trader, and then I have a code also for Apex. I'm all in on Take Profit Trader, but again, Apex, there are members that have used them, and I like Take Profit Trader better because of their payment policies. But I only put my name, and I'm willing to put my name next to two prop firms out there. That doesn't mean that they're the only two good ones. But yeah, some of them are sketchy. There's no doubt about that. Some of them have been sketchy. Some of them have gone out of business. But Take Profit Trader was recommended by members of my community that have used them for years. They've been paid by them. So I trust their judgment. And like I said, at this point now, I have the data. I've been paid by them on multiple occasions. So they're definitely not a scam. I'm going to do it. I will let you know my progress. Yeah. Again, if you want to support the channel, please use code CLAY if you'd like. That'll get you the promotion. So that link at the top, and then code CLAY will make sure you get the prices, the 30% off, and then 0 activation fee, which is always a benefit. This has got, all right, yep. 5 minute. I got to get short here. Come up a little bit more. I don't know because look at the 5 minute right now. Come on, 5 minute. Look at this. Did I miss it? Look at this congestion point. So many areas. Yep, there it was. Too slow. There's a rejection off of it. So I hesitate to use the word easy because nothing's easy, but that was a pretty straightforward scalp. Look at all that congestion. All that confluence right there. Too slow, though. I will use your code. Absolutely. You're the only reason. All right. Sounds good. I appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, swing by. Keep us posted. Michael Mansour, flag. No, I'm not. I guess I don't know when you said that message. Maybe you're talking. Was this a flag? I mean, maybe. I don't know if I'd have called it that at the moment in time. Yeah, I don't know. Short, what would this be? 500, stop, 20, so that's $40 risk. I was doing the same thing until I came here. I sat down this morning with 30 minutes. I was up 500 on barely any. Yeah, thank you, James. Yeah, childlike, you're not going to be disappointed. I mean, especially when I hear that, I quiver. And I quote, I have been waiting for my setup to trade since 7:30. Yeah, welcome to the world of stocks. And not always the most consistent of movement. Wow, strong move. Impressive. Look at that 5 minute. Quite the impressive move there. I don't know. Or do we extend this out? We're going to get spicy. Let's see. I mean, is this thing actually going to maybe come into play again? Obviously, it's got a long ways to go. I think this line has served its purpose for now, so we'll get rid of that one. That's what I'm saying, Judd. If you just give it a try. That's all I'm asking. Just give it a try. Worst case, Judd, you hate it. Worst case, you blow up and you're out $100. I'm telling you, Judd. Like, and I was with you. You were like my ally. Me, you, and Austin. We were like allies in the fight against future trend with prop firms. Like, we would always back each other up in the arguments. But dude, I was wrong. Like, I got it. I was wrong. And even Austin's doing it now too. Like, I see where we were coming from. So we weren't being irrational. We had rational thoughts. But once you're in it, like, it's just better. It's just better. And that pains me to say it because I don't want to have to tell Dan and Michelle and Second Chance and Joel. I don't have to say that to them. Yeah, he's still going for it. He likes it, yeah. Well, I guess I don't want to speak for Austin, but I mean, the fact that he's done it, he's still doing it, even after some blow-ups. Again, everybody blows up. I mean, he's still doing it. So at the end of the day, actions speak louder than words. I think I would say he's enjoying it enough. He's finding enough value in it to keep going. Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, this is a little bit of hindsight. I was going to say, was that totally obvious where that resistance was? I mean, right there, maybe. I guess that's 18,550. Looks like the key potential breakout point moving forward. So, yeah, maybe we get some sort of pattern here where it kind of consolidates out a little bit. Ideally, if we could get some sort of upwards trend here, and then you get the breakout. That way you can have a tighter stop. Because, I mean, right now, if you were to buy this breakout, where's your stop at? Like all the way down here? That's huge. But if we can get a trend line in place, then notice what's happening to your stop. If you can move your stop up below that trend line as it goes, theoretically, if it broke out right here and your stop is just right there, I mean, that's a much tighter stop. So, yes, if this thing comes back up here and breaks up through there, I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that just because, like, I don't know where to put my stop. Well, I mean, I know where to put it, but like that, I mean, that's a pretty big risk box. Yeah, Judd, you are. Yeah, Judd, I mean, like, all kidding aside, like, we botched that one. You and I'd say we're hanging in there in life. I'll put it that way. We're hanging in there in life. We got some good things going on. This one we got wrong. This one we got wrong. A rarity for us, but yes. And again, we weren't wrong in the sense of our logic and our reasoning, but like once you get in it, you're like, okay, I can see it. especially just from the movement standpoint. Like they just move. They're smooth. And for you to think that you still haven't taken a trade yet. Like, man, I don't know how many trades I've taken. Not that you need to take a bunch of trades, but you know what I mean. Like, you're not sitting around like poor childlike innocence since 7:30 still waiting for your setup on a stock. I mean, that's just depressing. So the 5-minute. Yeah, it really is that 850 that I mapped out. Even so, we should probably get this so we can make it a little bit more visual. So that seems to be the key level to keep an eye on. So there it is on the 2-minute. So okay, so far so good. We're getting a trend line in the upwards direction built. That's good. So the more candles we get, the less and less the stop loss needs to become, which is good because that means our risk profile is shrinking down. Have you ever used the book map? I have not. I have not. We should be fine, but just as always, I gauge, should I keep the stream going by interest? So I'm going 2 hours for sure, but if I go beyond 2 hours, I want to make sure people are still interested. So I am gauging interest via likes and then super chat. So we still have a little under an hour, but we definitely have to get up over 100 likes. So if you have not hit that like button, make sure you do that. Or we'll go with $20 total in super chat. So either $20 total in super chats until, like I said, we have about 53 minutes. So either $20 in super chats or let's get this up over 100 likes and then the party will continue beyond the 2 hour mark. So just a reminder, if you are enjoying, if you're finding this helpful, if you're finding this entertaining, if you're finding this who knows what, if you like looking at my goofy face, that's fine too. But hit that like button. Because that is the only way I know how to, kind of define interest is, well, how are people, how's the like button doing and all that? Salty War Pig, good to see you. Check out that downtrend line from 7 p.m. on 4/9, multiple touches. From 4/9, isn't that a couple of days ago? Oh boy. New trading, can you explain what's going on? I can. I am day trading futures, and I'm using a prop firm. So this is futures trading. These are candlestick charts. I don't know how new you are, so I'm sorry if I'm insulting your intelligence. But yeah, this is called technical analysis. This is called technical trading, and these are called candlesticks. So I am a technical trader using candlesticks to day trade futures, and I'm day trading futures through something called a prop firm. And prop firms allow you to just put very little of your money at risk, but then you have a whole lot of upside potential. So that's my best summary of kind of what's going on here. Hopefully that helps. If you have a little bit nuanced questions. No, that super chat was before this. We should be fine though. We should be fine. I don't see how we don't get up over 100 likes in the next 52 minutes. Yeah, Frank, where you been? I passed a 50K eval today. Then blew a 25 eval. Well, there are casualties along the way. Yesterday, I don't know if you were here yesterday, Salty War Pig, but I had a. Well, this is looking kind of spicy here. It might have been too late on this. We'll see. Is this the actual pattern right here? Is this the actual? And that looks like it could be good for at least a scalp. Yeah, I'll try a scalp up there if it wants to push up. Just looking for a quick little scalp on the breakout. But it's got to push up and show me some more strength. I guess in theory, maybe I should be buying right now, but I don't know if I'm totally convinced. Okay, making a move. Oh, back down it goes. I really don't like how it's putzing around like that. I'm going to cancel that out. See how it's just hesitating up around there? That's got me a little worried. Like, is it going to poke its head up above there and then just come back down? And I'm the sucker that buys the top. So, yeah. But, yeah, Salty War Pig. Yesterday, I blew a 50K account. But I got my I got 150K passed, which is always good. If I had to choose, am I gonna lose the 50K account or am I gonna lose the 150K? I'd prefer to pass the 150K. So there are casualties along the way. That is just part of prop firm trading. Doesn't mean you're a bad trader. And I mean, it could mean you're a bad trader. That's what makes trading hard. But it doesn't automatically mean that you're a bad trader. Well, there's that line again. It's just kind of putzing around a little too much. But to be fair, had I just bought the trend line right there, I would have been up green plenty already. So I wouldn't actually even really care what happens here because I'd already had been in the green. Don't forget to like and share. Yes, I agree. Yeah, I hear you, Salty. Yep. Yeah, hesitating. Again, for the people that were like, well, Clay, that's your problem because I bought on this little bull pennant. So I already scalped some out from here to here. Fair enough. Yeah, you definitely played it better than I did because I didn't even necessarily trade or take it. Yeah, putzing around at that area. So I'm thinking, I mean, could you get short here and a stop just up above the highs right there? What would that be? So 50 up to, let's call it 70, so 20-point risk, 40 with slippage. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Right there, you could get short, stop above there. Your risk is about $50 on one MNQ. I'd probably call that more of a lower probability trade. I don't know. It's maintaining above the 200 period, though, so that makes it a little sketchy. But let me put it this way. I would not call you crazy if you were, shorting up around this area. Because I see what you're doing. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I see where you're going with it. Okay, a back test of this trend line here. Are we going to get the back test and go? Let's see. Does not look like it. So yeah, if anybody did take the short off that little candle right there, well done. Assuming you're a scalper. Can't rough Trey. I don't know. Did I answer your question about you're new to trading? Did I kind of tell you what's going on here? Or did I just leave you more confused? Oh boy. If this can recover back up, this could be a buy. I'm going to get rid of that trend line there. That's just, I think, cluttering things up at this point. Look at VWAP. I don't know. VWAP might be the buy and the pullback. Bounce off there twice. Could I do that? Ooh, and you got the 21. Oh, I'll put a buy order down there. Let's see if it wants to come play ball. I got to remind myself, this is the streaming account. So even if this goes kaput, like, it's okay. Especially, like, now. I mean, I'm plenty in the green. But, like, even if this were to just go away, it's the stream. It's a live stream account. The history on that, it's probably been like 3 weeks ago. I was like, all right, I'm going to do a challenge, and I'm going to try to, grow this account and pass the account, and I'm going to do it all on live stream. And it was a clown fiesta. I was forcing trades. It just was not good because there is a voice in your mind. I've called it, the YouTube live stream voice. And it's like, you got to entertain, brother. You got to be doing stuff. Entertain. Get the views. Get the likes. And it can mess with you. So after that clown fiesta, you're like, you know what? I'm I got to try something. I got to figure something else out. That's not going to quite work because it was just, there was too much dumb trade going on in the name of being entertaining. And that's where I've now figured out since then, you know, if you just have an account, because that's the nice thing about prop firms too, is you can have multiple accounts. So you can have a bunch of accounts. You can have a bunch of different, purchasing power accounts, which is great. So, and it looks like it's not going to pull back. So I'll cancel that order out. So since then though, now I can just trade with peace of mind. Like I said, if this goes to zero, oh well, like it's fine. But I'm not gonna, it's, but if I actually had a goal and I was trying to accomplish something, then it just did not work. And some of you were probably here for that Clown Fiesta live stream. I don't even remember if that, I can't, yeah, it was just a disaster. Yeah, no, you're right. Just be yourself. Enough entertainment. Yeah, I agree. But that's sort of like me saying to you, hey, just be disciplined in your trading, right? I think anybody with a blanket of experience is like, well, I mean, that's a cool story. You're right. Be disciplined in your trading, but, so easy to say. So hard to do. So the platform you're using is linked to your bank account. I am new to this. Stupid question. No, not a stupid question. So what I'm doing is I'm day trading futures through a prop firm. And that's what I would recommend because you have very minimal risk. So if you use the link that you see there and then use code CLAY, you'll get 30% off. So step one would be you choose the purchasing power that you want. So for example, if you just want the 50,000 in purchasing power, that would cost you $119. Once you have that selected during the checkout process, it's going to say, okay, what platform do you want to use? The platform that I selected and that you see here is Tradeovate. And then they will go and create a Tradeovate account for you. So you do not have to go to Tradeovate's site and do anything on their end. Take Profit Trader, the prop firm, will create the account for you. They'll send you the login and username, and then you can log right in, and there you go. And like I said, worst case scenario, something crazy happens, because again, first phase is the test. You have to prove yourself. So the rule is you're not allowed to lose more than 2,000. But if you do lose 2,000, if you go on tilt, your revenge trade, you get stuck in a crazy move, and you lose $2,000, sure, they're going to take the account away from you. You can always get it back for $100 to try again, but they'll take it away from you. But the point here is, did you lose 2,000? No, you didn't. You only lost the cost of the account, which in this situation was $119. And that is per month, but only during the test phase. So after you get out of the test phase, which is why I say try to pass within a month so you don't have to pay that again. But after you get out of the test phase and then into the pro phase, the pro account where when you get paid, you get to keep money, get to keep 80% of it. At that point, there's no monthly fee. So the monthly fee is only here. It is not in the pro account, which makes it very, very nice. So that's what's going on there. Zulu Froggy. Did that answer your question, Zulu Froggy? Thank you, Frank, for providing some... Oh, we're at that level here, huh? Do we get the... What was it? Woo! Ugh. Man, I was close. I was close to hitting that trigger. Okay, now that we have that, let's just do this. Let's try... See if we can get a little bit of a scalp. If it can push up to that green line and then give me a push for the scalp. Close, close. In. What is going on here? Oh, it must have just been a partial fill at first. There we go. Oh, I bumped it up a little bit, and then it shot up that much more. I should have bumped up my order. All hindsight confirmation bias here, but at least on the bright side, I bumped up my sell order a little bit more. I don't even know what I made. Does anybody remember what that number was before I took that trade? Does anybody remember? Can you trade equities with prop firm? No, don't waste your time with equities. They're a waste. Don't even look at equities. Why do you want to trade equities? They're so slow and they don't move. I made $60 on it. Cool. It was $6.97. No. Was that really $6.97? One person told me I made $60, and then somebody else, I only made 20-something bucks. I got 3 different answers. All right, good, Zulu Froggy. I'm glad that worked. It was at 660. Okay, so I made 49. Somebody saying that. Okay, so if it was at 671. All right. Anyways. Played it. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm glad I'm glad I moved my target up a little bit, but again, this is all hindsight confirmation bias. I wish I moved it up another 10 points. I can just trading small at this point. I got my gains. I prefer not to give them away. But yeah, bull trader. No, you cannot trade equities with a prop firm, but you should not want to trade equities. Futures are just so much smoother moving. I mean, what time is it? It's almost noon, and look at this movement. Whereas you pull up a stock on the 2-minute, and it's just not going to be going. So with prop firm, you can only trade futures. Yes. Why are you opposed to futures, bull trader? I'm curious. Like, what do you have against futures? What are some of my bad trading habits? I don't know. I got a lot. Depends on the day. And I don't know. It's easy to say. Oh, you already said that. What would be a bad habit? Well, I'm still figuring that out now because I think I might be getting new ones with this live streaming stuff, but I don't know if that's actually true or not. But sometimes I try to fix things. Like, oh, I can fix this. That's a bad habit, trying to fix a trade that goes wrong. And like, I'll fix it. I'll make it work. So that's a bad habit. That's just so again, for people that scalped like myself, that was a profitable breakout. But for people that were wanting more, I mean, I'm not saying it's a losing trade for them yet, but they got to be feeling kind of disappointed now with this. So, like I said, for me, all the people that scalped out on that breakout, they're feeling good about their decision. But if this thing keeps rocking and rolling, myself included, we're all going to be sitting here saying, yeah, I probably shouldn't have scalped. But if this thing comes back down, then the people that were wanting more, they're going to be sitting there saying, I should have scalped. So hindsight will be the judge. But right now, nice recovery back up. Next Thursday, Andrew. So we got about 37 minutes to get up to 100 likes. So we're only 20 away. So again, if you want the party to go, I'm going for 2 hours. The stream will go for 2 hours. But if I go beyond 2 hours, that's where I gauge it based on, likes and stuff to see how interested people still are. So if you are enjoying and if you want it to go, either we got to get up over 100 likes or $20 in super chats in total. So, but I think we'll do it with the likes. But if you have not hit that like button yet, make sure you do that. So here's a question. Does anybody remember what that number was when I started the live stream? Am I still red on the live stream? I don't know. Because I know I've had 2 winners and a loser. But I do not remember what that number was when I started the live stream. So there's a little trivia. Does anybody know what that was? Yeah, so right now the people that are wanting more, keep in mind on the 5-minute, there is this pivot point up here at the 600 mark. So I could see that being maybe a magnet that tries to drag it upwards. But yeah, right now. So think about it. The people that were scalping, again, myself included, we're feeling good about scalping that move. For the people that wanted more, I'm not saying it's a losing trade for them yet, but it's probably starting to maybe encroach upon some stop losses. Would like to trade NVIDIA, Apple, and why? With momentum. Okay, bull trader. Those don't have momentum. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. You're after the wrong things. I assume you want momentum because you want movement, right? Is that true, bull trader? You're saying you want momentum, meaning you want good movement. Is that fair? That you want good movement? Is that the reason why you want to trade stocks with momentum? Because you want the... Okay, let me prove to you real quick that those things have garbage. Let me repeat, utter garbage movement compared to futures, okay? So here we go. I know I'm making bold claims, but I'm going to back it up very quickly. So let's quickly go and look at one of these momentum stocks. So let's look at NVIDIA, right? Does it get? So let's go down to the 5-minute time frame. So let's see. So let's look at this distance on NVIDIA here. Let me cook. I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook these things so bad. All right. So let's say that comes up here and you get the breakout, and I'm gonna make the numbers in favor of NVIDIA. Okay. So come on, get out of the way. Let me cook. Let me cook. There we go. Do not know how to trade futures. Don't worry, bull trader, but just let me cook right now. I appreciate the $2 super chat. So let's say, look at this distance. And let's just say this is 109, even though it's not 109 up to right here. So 109, and let's just call that 111. So that little distance that I just drew, right here. In fact, let's just do this. There's 111. There's 109. Okay, so this distance right here. Keep in mind that general distance. So per your premise, this is a stock with quote-unquote momentum. Keep in mind that distance right there, because we're going to go even a smaller distance. So now let's hop back into, so again, just to make sure we're on the distance from here to here. That's what I'm talking about, between these lines. Keep that in mind. Now let's look at futures. And we're going to do a much smaller distance. We're going to use the distance from here to here. Now over here, bull trader, you're going to notice a difference in numbers. You have 1860, and I know you don't know how to trade futures, but here's how easy futures are to calculate. From 600 up to 650, that is a difference of what? Hopefully you're saying, well, Clay, I can do math. That's a difference of 50. So in futures, things are measured in points. So the way you would talk in futures is this is a 50-point distance. So 50 points. Now, on the NQ, one contract, so the NQ is a type of contract. In futures, you don't trade shares, you trade contracts. So one contract of the NQ, 1 point is worth $20. Okay? So 1 point equals $20. Right here, that small little distance right there, which compared to that NVIDIA, very small. But that little distance right there, let me cook. Where's my calculator? I'm trying to cook. There we go. So that distance right there is 50 points. We just discussed that for one contract, a point is worth 20. So 50 points times $20 per point, that movement right there is worth $1,000 for just one contract. Now you may be saying, well, Clay, but yeah, how much is it going to cost me to take advantage of that? Well, with the prop firm, this is part of Pam's plant, you could get one of those contracts with the 25,000 purchasing power for $105. Not only could you get one of those contracts, you could actually get up to 3 of those. So that $1,000 that we were just looking at, that was per one contract. But if you could have 3, then you multiply that by 3, and that little distance right there was worth $3,000. But if you really want to cook, and let's go to the other extreme, you could get this. So for $252 of your money, you could get up to 15 of those contracts where 1 point equals $20. So in other words, that little movement there, if you're getting 1 point, or if you're getting $1,000 per contract and you can have up to 15, that little movement right there, $15,000. And how much does it require out of your pocket? Well, in this situation, $252. On the other end of the spectrum, $105. So by every conceivable metric, stocks move like garbage compared to futures. And the best part is, if you're trading NVIDIA, that's all your money at risk. With the prop firms, if something crazy happens and you lose $1,500, yes, they'll take the account away from you, but you didn't actually lose $1,500. You only lost the cost of the account. See what I mean, bull trader? So the other thing is, if you know how to trade charts, you can trade futures, right? In fact, bull trader, as an example, I could have lied to you and I could have hidden things and I said, we're looking at a stock right now. Would you have known any different? Like if you didn't know what you were looking at and you're just looking at this, would you know that we're looking at, and I told you it was a stock, would you have believed me? I'm sure, like, well, yeah, that looks like a stock chart. I mean, I see candlesticks moving. I know how candlesticks moves. I see patterns. So yeah, that looks like a stock chart. I think you would consider, would you agree that had I not told you what this chart was, but I just told you it was a stock chart, do you see anything that would make you not believe it was a stock chart? I think you'd be like, no, Or if I want, let's just say, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, if you know how to read charts, then you can trade futures. Like I said, there's a couple of small little things like, well, what's a point? How much does a point give? But like I just explained, it's not hard. In fact, I think it makes it easier because it's very easy to do mental math, right? If I know I get in right here at, let's just say 18,600 and I'm buying and I want my stop at 18,550, well, I know that's a difference of 50. So if I know what a point is worth, then I can do the math really quickly of what my risk is and boom, just like that. So points make calculating risk and all that stuff so much clearer. Whereas if on a stock, you got to, it's just better. It's just better. So you don't want to trade stocks. You should be happy that they're like, yeah, trade futures. What if the chart moved 200 points? Well, let me ask you this. I'm going to give you a quiz. Same thing to all of you that are maybe, so if it moves 200 points and 1 point is worth $20, how much profit could that have been? Assuming you get in and then it moves 200 points in your favor. How much profit would that be? It moves 200 points and then 1 point is worth $20. What would that answer be, bull trader? If you can answer this, then you essentially understand futures. Because if you already understand charts, like I said, that's the vast majority of futures trading is technical analysis. Well, no, tell me the math. Tell me the math. What would you do to figure that out? If 1 point is worth $20 and you just told me, what if it moves 200 points? Well, how many dollars would that movement be worth? 1 point equals $20. And you said it moves 200 points. There you go, exactly. 200 points times $20. See? You understand how to calculate futures just like that. There you go. Well, I don't know how to trade futures. Do you know how to do charts? Yes. Do you know how to do the math that I just walked bull trader through? Yes. Well, there you go. There you go. You can calculate things in futures. Now so there you go. So you want to trade futures and you don't want to do a prop firm for stocks because stocks, as I just showed, they're garbage. They barely move. If you're looking for movement, then here you go, which by the way is part of Pam's plant, right? Whoops. Right here. Movement and the ability to control it because you can control it with position size. You can control it with a type of contract. I mean, you have so much flexibility in your ability to control the movement. Pam's plant for the win. I know it can be a little spicy to sit here and say that people that are day trading stocks or options or Forex or crypto are wasting their time. It's garbage. They're taking on way more risk than they need to. I know that's inflammatory, but I have Pam's plant in my corner. Undefeated idea so far. Good, bull trader. Oh, he's not yelling. He's just enthused. He's enthused. He's all caps. All right, we're close to 100 likes. Again, if we want this stream to go beyond 2 hours, we got to get this up over 100 likes. So if you're enjoying, if you want the stream to continue beyond the 2-hour mark, and you have not hit that like button, make sure to do that. Also, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on the notifications. Thanks, bull trader. Thank you for the super chat again. And again, if you wanna use the prop firm that I'm using here and support the channel and get the promotion, bull trader, just use the link that's that you see on your screen and use code Clay, and that'll give you the promotion. How much you made today? On this account right down here. And I say on this account because that's the other nice thing about prop firms is you can have multiple accounts. And then you can copy trade, which is just crazy. So that's part of Pam's nuclear explosion growth. So what is copy trading? Well, take profit trader will allow you to have up to 5 accounts. And then you can copy those. So for example, if on one account you make a trade for $500, but if you copied it to the 4 other accounts, you actually just made $2,500. Sure, you only made one trade for $500, but by copying it to those 4 other accounts, they also each made $500. So in total, you make $2,500. Now, yes, that cuts both ways. If you don't know what you're doing, it can spin out of control. But I mean, if you know what you're doing, the potential there is just massive. One trade, but you do one trade, but it's actually happening 5 times. So that's another reason for Pam's plant, the nuclear explosion growth via copy trading. Well, we are fit. Oh, that's okay. That's nasty, and that may justify a short. Stop. But now let's see. Maybe a fake break. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do a fake break. Sure. So low probability, but what is that? My stop needs to be above. Okay, 650. Oh yeah, I can do that. So 640. We're 640. Okay, yeah. Let me cook. I'll take a 10 points. No. Well, it's just one because this is a lower sell. No. What am I? Okay, let me reassess. Oh yeah, 40 is where I want in. So basically right there. Then my stop has got to be above 50. So buy stop. There we go. So I'm getting short at that red line. My stop is right there. Low probability trade because my stop is pretty tight. But the low probability nature of it is compensated in the fact that if this thing does roll back over, I'm going to be making a whole lot more than what I'm risking. But we'll see. I'm going to give it a try. Can I use the Schwab as platform? No, just use this. Use Tradeovate. I agree, Kevin. Kevin says, if you're still day trading stocks, especially in this environment, you're making poor life choices. Agreed. In the last 2 days, I'm trading at 78%, 9%, and 80% winners. Good job. Yeah. Tradeovate will pull reports. I don't know anything about them, but there are lots of great platforms to use out there. Most of them are free. Yeah, I would say just use Tradeovate. Where can the Pam plant be exhumed by devotees? Putting a buy order right above the stop loss is brilliant. I'm not sure. You're either saying that like in a backhanded way, like you're either insulting me because you're saying like what I'm doing is actually really stupid, or you're saying I'm not quite sure. Putting a buy order right above the stop loss is brilliant. No, this is a sell order, and then the buy order is up here because if I'm shorting, I need to sell first, and then I would buy to get out. So I don't know. You might be ragging on me though. I'm not quite sure. And D-Dare, where can the Pam plant be exhumed by new devotees? I don't know what exhumed means. If that's a word, I'm not that smart. I missed an. Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure if you're saying what I was doing was actually stupid by calling it brilliant. I started stocks trading on a simulator, and it doesn't go well no matter how much you try. I mean, I'm telling you, if people would just listen, futures are just better. Yeah, this consolidation, it's consolidated out quite a bit now. I'm going to have to cancel that one out. We'll see. We'll do this. My entry point, or we'll just do this. My stop loss, I did say, was a little bit above 50. I think right there. And my entry point was at, so we'll paper trade it. And we'll see if I did the right thing or not. No need to apologize, Raving 6. That's fine. I thought you had a short order with a stop loss, and if the stop was passed, you'd buy and try to. Oh, nope. The buy order was my stop loss to get out. But I can see how you would think that. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Nurola, just stop it. Get some help. Does everybody know that meme, the Michael Jordan one? That's what I'm saying. You stop it. Get some help. Just trade futures. Futures trading with your own money could be, yes, bull trader. It could be extremely dangerous. That's part of Pam's plan. That's this right here. The added risk control. You are protecting your own money because the only money that you actually have at risk is the cost of the account itself. So right there, And again, the month right here, that's only during the test phase. Once you pass the test, and once you move from the test into the pro, the monthly fee goes away. So right there, where when you get paid, you get to get the money, there is no monthly fee at that point. But yes, you're right. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Same with anything else, though. You trading stocks with your own, because if you're anything like me as a trader, yeah, you have bad days every now and then. The goal is to make there be bigger and bigger separation between the bad days, but you have bad days. Somebody asks about a bad habit. Maybe a bad habit shows up and you try to fix something, but fixing something makes it way worse. If that's your own money, that's your own money that it is gone. But in the prop firm world, sure, maybe they take the account away from you because you broke the rule and lost too much. But what you actually lost out of your own pocket was just what it cost you to buy the account in the first place. Yeah, TPT Frank, I appreciate it. Is it possible to wake up early and do futures trading for 2 hours and leave for my main debt? Yeah, that's okay. So right here as part of Pam's Plant, like I'm telling you, Pam's Plant, it's hard around the clock. Now they're not open totally around the clock. They're closed on Saturdays, but other than that, they close for 1 hour each day. They close each day from 5 p.m. Eastern to 6 p.m. Eastern. They're closed, and then they close on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and then they open back up Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. But besides that, they're open up essentially around the clock. So to answer your question, yeah, there's plenty of flexibility. There's plenty of time for you to find a moment to get some trades on. So once again, Pam's Plant for the win. Pam's Plant for the win. Yeah, I'm definitely would not feel comfortable. If anything, I think probably people are thinking go long at this point. In fact, now I'm thinking, should I be getting ready to go long? Yeah, I got a tight stop right there. What would that be if I buy right there? Still about a 30 point. Yeah, that's a nice little. Nice pennant pattern here. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. All right, there we go. 3 more likes, and we're up over the 100 like mark, which is good. The goal is 125. Clay, did you get any good action when Dow popped 3,000? Yeah, no, Bull Trader, it was insanity. Like, all kidding aside, Bull Trader, like hundreds of thousands of dollars could have been made in mere minutes in the futures market. To be fair, if you were on the wrong side, you could have lost it all, which again is the argument for prop firms. Because if you were trading futures with your own money, and when those spikes happen, and if you were on the wrong side, your account is gone. Plus, you probably had a margin call. Plus, you probably still owed your broker some money. So yes, there's multiple people that lost their prop firm accounts, right? Poof, which they can get back. But when they, quote unquote, lost their account, when it was taken from them, it only cost them the cost of the account, which was, a couple $100 at most. So that is the built-in, again, that is the added risk control part of Pam's Plant, where prop firm trading, it just makes so much sense. Because, yeah, when the market was spiking, there were people that literally lost it all if they were using their own money. Because it happened so fast that even stops had so much slippage that it would have been account liquidated plus some. I take lots of small trades in a day, win 50 to 70. Is that against the rules that take profit? Nope. Now, the only thing to keep in mind during the test phase is they have the consistency rule. So if your profit target goal is, if in order to pass the test, you have to make $3,000, for example, you're not allowed to make more than $1,500 in a single day because that's 50%. But that rule also goes away. Once you get in the pro accounts, you can make as much as you want every single day. But yeah, per your question, Ibrahim, no, there's nothing like that. All right, we're already over 100 likes. Let's go, and we still got 15 minutes to spare. We may set a record today. The record, I was looking back at the stats, is 170 likes. But that also includes after it goes in the archive, and then people can watch it later on, and then maybe hit the like button, as they're not watching it live. So I think we may have a chance at record-breaking territory. Oh boy. What are people thinking? Is there anybody that's thinking of buying this breakout if it happens? This line here, I am actually going to adjust it. So this line is I'll just show you on the 5-minute. So if the breakout does happen, the one thing you got to keep in mind is that you do have this line here, and this line is matching up with the highs right here. That doesn't mean that if the price gets up to that level, it's getting rejected back down. But it's just one of those areas where keep a note of it. You're not quite out of the woods. Just because the price may break through here, that's a good thing. But I want to get overly excited about it. But if the price can break through there and then get the break of 650, again, no guarantees, but could that generate a whole nother round of buying pressure? Absolutely. So like I said, that trend line, breaking that's a good thing. Just don't get too excited about it. Start to rejoice if the price can get up through the 18,650 mark. So again, that is what this line here is representing, what I just showed you on the other one there. With Take Profit Trader, you can make as much as you want. Yes, after you go into the pro account. Test phase, they have the 50% rule, meaning you are not allowed to make more than 50% of whatever your goal is. So if the goal for the account is $1,500 to pass, in a single day, you're not allowed to make more than $750. Oh, you're talking about the pattern. I thought Raven was talking about like futures for a second. And Raven's like, not enough volume. I'm like, not enough volume. But you're talking about this pattern. So there we go. You're welcome, Ibrahim. With Take Profit Trader, you can make as much as you want. I was told 10,000. Well, no, you can make 10,000 and then they move you into the next phase. They move you into the live account, which I love because it shows that it's actually a sustainable business model. Well, here's the pullback. Shane, I'm upset at you. You did not. I gave you an assignment yesterday, Shane, and you didn't follow through with it. I don't want your excuses. You're supposed to join the community. There we go, Elon. It did work. I'm going to type to Elon real quick. All right, yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Something is broken within the sequence on that, but yeah. Right now, I just gotta do it manually. All right, we're looking at a bigger pullback here. Looking at a bigger. My assignment, Shane, is you need to join this. Part of the live stream is a recruiting. I like to recruit people that I'm like, ooh, they would fit in good. They got a good head on their shoulders. So Shane, I want no excuses. You're going to be joining this in the next 5 minutes, however long it takes to sign up. I don't want any excuses. I recruited Elon. Elon signed up yesterday. I'm recruiting you. You will fit in great with our community. You will fit in great. I want you part of it. Right there. Let's go. Yep, called it. The breakout was false. I'm not quite sure what breakout you're necessarily referring to. My breakout was being defined as that trend line right there, so there was never a breakout that even happened. But maybe you're looking at a different breakout. All right. Pullback. Is it worthy to? Yeah. Let's see if I put a stop below there, if I can get in. Yeah, low probability trade, but there we go. Put my stop right there. See if I can get a bounce. Low probability trade. I'm kind of trying to catch a falling knife, but if we can get this thing bouncing. Let's see if it does want to bounce. If you've never seen futures trade, look at that number. Ask yourself, how do you feel about how that number's fluctuating? If you think it's too slow, don't worry. I'll give you a remedy. Come on. All right, let's get this a winning trade now. There we go. This will be a winning trade. Now I'm just looking for follow through. Come on, push now. It will be a winning trade no matter what. My stop loss is above my entry. But I want to see if this thing can get a surge upwards. Come on. Come on, my friend. Come on, go back up. Gave it a chance. But I'm good. Stress-free. It's a winning trade. It'll be a green trade. Just a question of, am I going to make even more money? Because this thing actually pushes up. Come on. There we go. There we go. Now I'm getting paid. Let's go. Keep pushing up for me. As it goes, I'm going to move my stop loss up. There we go. Pay me. You're my boy, Cletus. You're my boy. Who remembers that song? Got to be around on the live stream. And out. All right. So there is a nice one. So again, my question to those of you that have maybe never seen futures trade or so you were looking at that number. How did you feel about how that was moving around? If you're like, Clay, that was kind of slow. That really wasn't worth it. Fair enough. This is where we have the M of Pam's plant, the movement, but more importantly, the ability to control it. So if you're looking at that number and you're saying, Clay, that was way too small, a couple of things to consider. Number one, I was doing the MNQ, which is where I would say everybody needs to start. Not the NQ, the MNQ. The M stands for micro, means things are a bit slower. So in other words, I was doing the bare minimum of movement that you could get. So how so? Well, reason number one, I was doing the slower type of contract. Reason number two, that was only one contract. So if you were looking at that number as it fluctuated and thought, that's kind of like, Clay, I saw it go like up $7, down $2, up 14, like that really wasn't that much. Again, fair enough. How do you control it? Well, you control it because through the prop firm, and I'll do the bare minimum here, bare minimum would be the 25,000 account. So within that account, it's telling you that, again, that was one contract. So for the 25,000, that number one could have been brought up as high as 30. Maybe you're still saying, no, even 30. I don't know if I would have liked that movement enough, okay? You could go up to the other end of the spectrum, the 150,000 purchasing power. That number that you saw as 1, you could have raised that as high as 150, okay? So that is the movement. Now, a fair critique right now is, wait a second, Clay, you can do the same thing in stocks. You can do it in anything. All you do is add to your position, right? If you want more movement within stocks, well, just buy more shares. But what does it take to buy more shares, to buy more contracts, to buy more coins if you're doing crypto? Well, it takes more money out of your wallet, right? It takes more money out of your purse. It takes more money out of your satchel if you're European, So it takes more money. But with the prop firm, does it take more money? No. Because in this situation, for the 150K, $250, and you could start at one contract or you could go up to 150. But that 250 is not changing. It is what it is. It does not require any more money out of your pocket in order to go with higher position size. So that's the big differentiating factor between the two. So there we go. There we go. That is why Pam's plant for the win. How many prop firms are you trading? I just use one. I'm just take profit trader. Oh, here we go. Here we go. It's at the trend line. There's no way I'm buying that trend line. That's a little bit too much of a big move up. Now, if it wants to build a little base here, then I could see that. Great trade. Took the same trade on my TPT. Made 320 in one TPT. There we go. Good job, Mike. Lost of accounts in the last 2 weeks. Today, I am shutting her down with 3 PT val counts, profits, 325. Very good, Mike. Well, congratulations. Well, right now, it's looking like the break might have been the wise thing, but I feel perfectly fine. Because where do you put a stop loss at this point? Way down here. Now, that's a pretty big risk box. Am I a meme guy? I'm probably kinda not. I mean, like I know of memes, but I don't know. I don't know what your definition of a meme guy is. Like, am I up to date on every single meme? No. So if that's your definition of a meme guy, then I'm not a meme guy. Well, man, if you bought the breakout. Right now, it seems to be working, but that is... there we go. Remember that line we mapped out? Huh. What a coincidence, right where it got rejected so far. The power of charts. Manuel, good morning. The power of charts. Now, I could see somebody getting short right here. Stop above the high. Again, lower probability, but your risk is very, very tight. So if this rolls back over, you'd be getting paid a whole lot more compared to what's being risked. So lower probability trade. But the market compensates that in the fact of where if you're right, you're going to get paid. But yeah, certainly a lower probability trade and one where you should go in expecting to lose. But you should feel reassured by that, but it's going to be a small amount. Did I miss any? Looks rangy today. Yep, called it the break. It was okay. Yeah. So right now, the shorts are still, if anybody took that, they still got a chance. They're hanging in there. Isn't that amazing? Again, this is what I love about the live stream is like people that were here know that I didn't just put that line in there. That line's been sitting there. I explained it. And looky, the price is struggling with that level. How futures trading affected by tariff war? Oh, they've been going wild. Nurilla, they've been going wild. I mean, just crazy. A couple days ago, people either made or lost fortunes in minutes. Wow. Well, for any of you here that were like, screw it, I'm buying the break of this. I don't care. Hey, you chose wisely. I chose poorly. Anybody that was shorting up around here, like I said, lower probability trade, you're stopped out, but it is what it is. Live to fight another day. It's nice to find a channel that does legit live trades, not just replays or reviews. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I do stream, or I do my main trading off stream at the market open. But yeah, I'm doing some live trades here for sure. I am at risk of looking like a total moron every trade. I get it, but somebody's got to do it. I just paid for my subscription for Take Profit. Thank you again for. Did you use code Clay for the win? Now it's a question of, do we get the back test and go? Actually, two potential back tests. Number one is this resistance right here. Is this former area going to, and right, look at that, right off of it. So we got the back test. Now is it going to go? So that's the part in question. Got the back test. It's bouncing, but will it go? We'll see. If it does not, then I could see this trend line here being a potential there. But right now, look at that. Now the scalpers are all set. Scalpers already made their money. Came down here. The scalper got in. This movement here, they don't need much from a scalping, especially when it's futures. So scalp, look at that. Right off of that area. The back test and go. Again, our charts, and I'm not saying any of this to brag about myself. I'm saying it to brag about technical analysis. Charts are not a perfect tool. Perfect tools don't exist. But are they a tool that I would argue is worthy of learning? Yeah, I think they're worthy of learning. Look at that. The back test and go. Did anybody take that back test? Tell me somebody here took it. Childlike Innocence, what size account did you get? Man, this is a great group. Already up to 115 likes, and we're not even 2 hours in. If you have not hit the like button and you are enjoying, please do that. That's a good metric for me to figure out if these live streams are staying popular or if they're kind of fizzling out. But as long as the likes stay strong and we keep growing them over time, then that would seem to imply the live stream's growing. So if you are enjoying, a very easy way. Okay, so 50K buying power. There you go. There you go. So Childlike, this is your goal. This is the test for you. Now make sure you look at that breakout. Look at the back test and go. Amazing. Amazing. Congrats to the people that took that. So on the 50K, the main rules you're going to need to realize is you got to make 3,000. You're not allowed to lose 2,000. And there is a 50% rule, meaning during the test phase, you're not allowed to make 50% more than the goal. So the goal is 3,000. So 50% of that is 1,500. So in a single day, you would not be allowed to make more than 1,500. Again, once you get into the pro account, so once you go from test to pro, then you can make as much money as you want. And then eventually they'll shove you into the pro plus account, which is good because then you're getting to keep 90% of the gains. So that will be the goal that you're looking for. That's the test. And there you go. And the breakout. Oh, wait, we got to extend this out. So this is a trend line that we've been tracking for a long time, for those of you that have been here from the get-go. And I've been wanting to just kind of keep it out here. So we're still a ways. Okay. So overnight high seems to be the target right now. No other areas of resistance. That doesn't mean that it's going to go up there, but this could be a quick little scalpable opportunity from the short side. Overnight high. Have good risk management and you'll do all right. Yep. And that's why I like prop firms, because they'll force you to focus on risk management. That's what the rules are there for. Whether you want to manage risk or not is up to you, but within the prop firm world, they're saying, well, we're putting rules out there, and these rules are designed to get you to focus on risk management, which is the goal. You're welcome, Childlike. Thank you for using the code. And Childlike, I mean, I'm not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but the best traders I know, the best traders that have, in fact, Michelle from our community, she's on here every now and then in the chat box. But she went on I don't want to lie, so I'll err on the side. I want to say a 30-day European vacation, but that might be a lie. Maybe it was 15-day. But regardless, she went on a European vacation, everything through prop firm payments. With that being said, Michelle has blown up multiple accounts. So if you blow up an account, don't default to, oh, geez, I'm not a very good trader. That's part of it, because again, you got to think, what is your actual risk? The actual risk is only $119. So sure, maybe you have a trade that wrecks $2,000, but you didn't lose $2,000. Yes, you lost the account. Yes, you blew it up, but your risk is actually only $119, which is kind of crazy, because I remember getting started and like a trade could easily, if it goes wrong, I'm out $300. I'm out $400. But that not the case here. Well, we are just in the. Did anybody here take that break? Like I said, I didn't take it because I didn't like the risk profile. Because at that point, if you're buying right there, the stop is as far as I. But man, if anybody did take that, whew, you are getting paid. Did anybody take the back test and go? Again, this will be more context for those of you that hang around the stream. But if you do, then you know that we talk about this quite a bit. Broke that key level, came back down, back tested it, and wow, did it go. Does it go every time? Nope. I think yesterday we had one that it didn't work out, but that's why stop losses matter. Just cut the loss, because when they do work out and you catch one like that, man, that's wiping away a lot of times where it doesn't work out. From 721 to 749, only one MNQ. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Maybe I lost something, Frank, but yeah. All right, a bit of a pullback. So what would be interesting here is, does it pull back some more? Because as it pulls back right now, all that's doing from a pattern standpoint, it's just giving us a bull flag. So yeah, if it wants to pull back some more, we'll see if it wants to build out a bull flag here. I'm a little skeptical of buying right now, because this was a big move. So this, I think it might need to pull back a little bit more. But for me, I would feel a little bit more comfortable with a bigger of a pullback. Like I said, if it pulls back a little bit more, not necessarily a bad thing, because that would, like I said, if it pulls back more, well, we still just have a bull flag pattern. So we'll see what happens with it. But so finally starting to act a little bit more human with the pullback instead of just going straight up. I am potentially interested in buying down here at this breakout, or the back test point. See if we can get maybe a double bottom of it. So we already have the first bottom right there. Does it come down here, give us another bottom, and then go back up? I don't know. Maybe. We'll see if it wants to pull back there, though. So that's what I'm eyeing right now. Maybe a double bottom, but that may be a little too greedy on my part, meaning I want it to come really far down. Maybe it doesn't need to drop down that far. Yeah, I skimmed through it a while ago, Mohammed. Yeah. Interesting book. Unfortunately, though, still not the holy grail to anything. If only it were that easy to read a book on trading psychology and then have all your psychology fixed. Not saying it doesn't hurt, but yeah. Not quite that easy either. Oops. Hey, brother, come on down to the river. Let's see, where is this? Well, yeah. I guess if you're trying to play kind of more of a micro pullback, I suppose there may be some longs out there that were playing that. But yeah, just not quite my cup of tea. What time of the days are futures more volatile? Usually right at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. But, I mean, some people are like, I like them when they're a little bit slower. So, you know, maybe they're trading them at like 9 o'clock Eastern time at night. All right. We are 5 likes away from the overall goal. So, and we're over 2 hours. So we'll go another 15 minutes. We'll go to at least 2.5 hours. But let's try to get 6 more likes here. So that'll hit us. So, because we've got to factor in the JJ effect. So if you have not yet, so we have time. We've got 9 minutes to get 6 likes. I think we can do that. But to keep the stream going, let's make sure that people are still interested. So if you have not hit the like button, but you're enjoying and you want the stream to keep on moving, let's get this up over 125 likes, which was the goal from the get-go. Like, I think we have a chance with this group. I think we have a chance to maybe set a record. Because I'm willing to push these things to 3 hours if the interest is there. In fact, we've had a couple gone almost 3.5 hours. So if the interest is there, I'll keep pushing it. I mean, I'm with you. I'll stick with you if the interest is still here. But I just don't know any other way to gauge interest other than by using metrics such as like button and then super chats. So the Holy Grail is singing Cletus. That is true. You're my boy, Cletus. You're my boy. Who knows that? Does anybody know that? The Cletus song? It's the Holy Grail. If you get in a trade and you start to sing it, I think my data set is 2 for 2. Giant triangle pattern from that massive pop 2 days ago. All right. What time frame are you using, Salty Warpig? Come on, man. You know better than that. If you're going to comment on a pattern, or I guess you did say days. So you're looking at the daily time frame? Is that what you mean? Okay. Well, come on, man. Come on, man. Name the time frame so I know what you're talking about. So you're saying giant triangle from that massive pop 2 days ago. Gotcha. Well, what we do have right now, which is suggesting a bit of a pullback, which I would not be shocked at given how strong this move has been. But we do seem to now have a rising wedge pattern. We do have a rising wedge pattern. Now, this is a bearish pattern. That does not mean that the thing's gonna crash or anything like that. Goodness. But it does suggest a pullback. So we'll see if this is going to play out or not. It just broke to the downside of the rising wedge. So I could see this coming down to the 700 mark, if not even lower than that. So there's the breakdown of the rising wedge. Again, a very mild breakdown. So any shorts that took that breakdown, I mean, I don't even know if it's moved enough yet for scalpers. We'll see what happens, though. Got to think that the shorts are stops above the high right there. So they're seeing if this thing wants to pull back some more. So we'll see. We'll see if the shorts, if the rising wedge here can create a victory here for shorts. Because they got the break. Now it's just a question of, is this break going to get, is it going to get more continuation to the downside? There we go. So that was the rising wedge. Gotta think they're getting a little impatient. Come on now, bears are saying, let's go. You broke to the downside. Flush for me. I wonder why some people don't hit the like. It always baffles me. Well, I mean, to be fair, some people just don't like it. And that's fine. I mean, I get it. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But yes, I do agree that the people that are enjoying, that don't hit it, that's an interesting dynamic. Uh-oh. Again, I think the shorts that would be in are still, they're holding out for right here. But they may start to be cursing the rising wedge. You lied to me, you rising wedge. You lied to me. We'll see, though. You know, I think I was a jerk. Usually I ask, hey, how are people's days going? And I don't know if I ever asked that. So yeah, how is everybody's days going? Red, green, break even. It is Friday, so remember, if you're green, don't necessarily do something stupid. That's going to... Thank you, Mohammed. Like it on 2 accounts. I appreciate it. No trades yet. Yeah, how's your pro account coming, Mohammed? Green, good. Nero, pretty good, dude. Good, good. There we go. And likes accomplished. Very good. Man, this thing is just strong. Again, I want to say, uh-oh. Shorts are very close to potentially getting stopped out. I can see them moving their stop above the upper trend line there, but they're sweating bullets right now. They're sweating bullets. But right now, the top trend line of that pattern is still being respected. 500 from blowing away the account. Well, 500 still, you got plenty of wiggle room there. All right, there it is, right at the top. Is it going to push through? Is it 25? Yeah, 500. You can make 500 work. No more trades for you. All right, JMO. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hopefully no longs are buying that breakout. We'll see. The candle still got time before it closes. Childlike innocence. I'm still waiting to get in a trade, but I'm very blessed to be able to watch, engage. Are you a member of the private community, Childlike? Did you say that? I can't remember. Did you say yesterday that you were, or I can't remember that part. Are you aware that I have a private community? No? Okay. Well, given you've had, just an FYI, if you're interested in joining, you can learn more about it right there. Great group of traders. Some really good traders, people that'll hold you accountable, people that will tell you the truth. It may not always be what you want to hear, but oftentimes it's what you need to hear. So yeah, consider joining that, and yeah, would love to have you join. Given your attitude, like I told Shane, and tell people that I've recruited. I mean, everybody's welcome to join. Don't get me wrong. Everybody's welcome to join, but there's certain people where you get to know them, and you get to like, oh yeah, you would totally fit in very, very well. And I would say that is for you. Again, just because you have not been personally invited, that doesn't mean you're not invited. It just means that, I really haven't probably felt you out enough to be able to say whether or not you'd enjoy. But, I mean, it's hanging in there. That upward trend line is being stubborn. But to be fair to the bulls, they don't want to let this thing go. The rising wedge is trying its best to push this thing down, but the bulls do not want to let it go. Maybe it does just want to grind up to the overnight high now. Very close right there, but like I said, that upward trend line, it's doing work. It is doing work, but you got to give credit to the bulls too. They're not making this easy either. Again, the original alert was down here. So those shorts, if they survive that storm, I mean, their entry point was somewhere down around here. So they're feeling better, but they're still not quite green. But they got to definitely be feeling better. Sorry for personal question, but are all of your kids homeschooled? Yes, they are. And if yes, who teaches them? My wife. I've been thinking about homeschooling my nephew. Yeah, yep. We're like a part of a couple of co-ops too. But yeah, my lovely, my very patient wife does it. She does a very good job with it. And I guess I kind of do it. They're getting to the ages now where like money and stuff is starting to kind of actually make sense. So trying to tell them, like right now, I say any money you make, 30% goes to saving and investing. Now it's not like they're going to go invest, but just to try to drive that in, that just because you make money, it doesn't mean you go out and spend it all. Just take 30 right off the top. See, oh man, this thing is just, the bulls are strong. The bulls are strong. Can I do longer trades with futures? For example, nope. No, you gotta be out by the time the close every day. That's why I say Pam's plant is in the category of day trading. Swing traders, if that's all you do or all you want to do, then no. Swing trading's not for you. Or I mean, Pam's plant would not be for you. Pam's plant is an argument, is a strategy designed for the category of day trading. Again, that upward trend line, I mean, it's holding strong, but the problem is the bulls just do not want to let go. Do not want to let go. Day and swing, yeah. So the prop firm would be for your day trading. Public school ruined my life. Well, I'm a product of the public school system, so I don't know. I mean, maybe my life's ruined and I'm not aware that it's ruined, but yeah, I mean, I suppose that's there's not a one size fits all for terms of public school. Oh, all right. Are they gonna? So again, I'm curious about this line because that's where basically it was where I could see the original rising wedge people getting in at. So they're still not. But that candle right there is a little sketchy. Again, all off of that upward trend line. But the bulls, they're being just as stubborn in some ways. The red tiger, childlike you can, but not through a prop. Oh. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, prop firms are definitely not designed for. Do you get this stuff figured out yet, Red Tiger? Are you regretting creating that whole new email? You got to be regretting creating that whole new email, huh? Like I said, I can realistically see the people that got short here surviving all this because it's never, I mean, it's gone slightly above that upper trend line, but that's why you have wiggle room. I can see them surviving this and they're still saying, I'm going to give this a chance. So by no means has this been a totally clean rising wedge, but the price has respected that upper part of it, very much so. Clay, in completely exposing my newness, would it make sense to set a buy? I don't know, Frank. I mean, I've been meaning to tell you this, Frank. I'm just going to throw it at your way because I know you're new and you seem to have a very open attitude, which is a good thing. And I don't think you'll get mad at me because but like, if you want to like actually like learn to make sure, because I don't, Frank, for all I know, given you started 2 weeks ago, you might be building all sorts of bad habits. But if you want to learn in a structured way from the my like actual mentorship program, that is it right there to consider. So do with that what you will. Like I said, I'm only bringing it up because I don't think you're going to get all upset. Oh, sales pitch, huh? Like, I don't think you're one of those guys. You seem very open-minded, but I think you would very, very, very much benefit from that. But you do with it as you will. Like I said, and it's a sales pitch that I believe in, and my proof that I believe in investing in structured education. Maybe it was on this one. Oh, there it is, right here. My proof of that is I taught trading to myself years and years and years ago. Worst experience of my life, so costly. So before I got into real estate investing, I went and invested just under $5,000. And in this video, I go through everything line by line because I do understand. Like you were saying, hey Clay, what do you recommend? And I'm like, I recommend structured learning. And oh, by the way, I happen to sell structured learning. I totally understand from your perspective. You're going to say, well, of course you say that that's what you recommend because you sell something. Totally fair point. The point of this video and why I did it years and years ago was to let you know that, no, that is a genuine belief. And my proof is all the money that I invested into learning real estate investing before I ever did my first deal. So I get it. Oh, ow. Think about that. Let's think about that. This is how cruel the market is. Those people that got short right there originally, that movement went down to basically hit them at break even and was like, oh, you're about to go into the green. And then it bounced right off of that. The market is a savage place at times. Wow. Yeah, because at that point, if again, using the crosshair, if people got short right about there on the breakdown, Yeah, it bounced basically right. Talk about a tease. Brutal. Brutal. Now, any shorts that were maybe playing the upper part of the pattern right there, I mean, they've gotten paid. That's been fine. But it's this. When I first started talking about it to keep things fair, that was right down around there. Again, if you're enjoying, make sure you hit that like button. We've been stuck at 125. So if you just got logged on and you have not yet hit the like, but you're enjoying and you want the party to continue, let's get this up to at least 135. We can do that in the next 9 minutes, and we'll keep the party going. So 2.5 hours is 9 minutes from now. And if people are still interested, then I'll keep going. How am I defining interest? We'll go either $10 in super chats or 9 more likes. So that is how I will quantify that. And like I said, we'll keep the party going. But make sure you hit that like button. All right, there it is. There is their break-even point. They're maybe about to go on the green, or is it going to tease them again? So maybe some of them they're like, you know what? I'm happy to just escape this thing at break-even, small gain. Maybe some of them are doing that. Maybe some are like, nope, hold the line. It's time to get paid. Big breakout on the 15. There we go. Now you're using time frames. That's much easier to work with. Big breakout on the 15-minute. Oh my, think about that. It's just tapping. They're like, just break down through. Pay me. I've been waiting. Oh my goodness. Oh, those poor shorts. This thing is just toying with their emotions. Again, that crosshair is representing where I could see some shorts having gotten in on the breakdown of the rising wedge and survived the storm because, like I said, that upper trend line was never really... Okay, there we go. Now let's see if they can finally get paid. Given what they risked, I would say this thing needs to at least go down to 700. So where that 21 EMA is, that green line. In order for it to truly make sense from a risk-reward standpoint and where their stop was... No, I take that back. It's got to get down below 700. Maybe some of them would have locked in a little bit of gains after all they sat through, but they are fit. So that pattern has worked out because, again, if you look at that upper trend line, it poked its head above there a couple times, but nothing major. So more than realistic that a short that was using that as their guide for the stop loss with wiggle room would have survived the storm. But still, in order for kind of that overall trade plan to make sense, it's got to come down a bit, basically right here. Yeah. Now they're very close to, oh, there we go. Well, wow. Congratulations to anybody that took that weathered the storm. It took a while. Wow, childlike innocence. Everybody hit that like. The party is continuing. Hit that like button. Childlike innocence is keeping this thing going. So we are for sure going for at least until the 2 hour and 45 minute mark. Hit that like button. Thank you, childlike innocence. But congratulations. So a good example here of some patterns are so clean, you get the break and it just goes and you are booyah. Some breaks are like this, where nothing ever necessarily goes wrong, because it's not now. How would wrong be defined? Wrong would be defined if one of these came up here and spiked up above that line and then came back down. Because at that point, it's like, okay, you got stopped out. But there was none of that. Yes, the price slightly peeked its head up above that upper part, but it was ever so slightly, and that's, again, why you need wiggle room within a trade plan. But yeah, some patterns are just like this. They are the most annoying thing ever, but they eventually do pay. How do you add overnight lows? You go here to indicators, and then you go to community indicators, and then you're going to want to assert. Whoops. Okay, so I can't do that. And then this is what it's called right there. That's the one that will bring up right there, the EMON. EMON overnight high low right there. But you got to first click on indicators and then explore community indicators. All right, so we will get rid of that pattern. It did play out. It did work, but good grief. A good example, though, like I said, not every pattern is going to be like this, right? You got the break of that, and it was just right from the get-go. Clean sailing. That one was not that. But I am going to go ahead and get rid of that level 2. Still curious about that trend line. This trend line's been here since the beginning of the live stream, so we're gonna keep going with that one. Low probability trade, but a short up around here with the stop above the overnight high. You know, I could see that making sense. Again, low probability trade. Expect for it to be a losing trade, but on the bright side, it would just be a very minimal amount. But if it actually comes up here and then gets rejected back down relative to what was being risked, you could be getting a nice little paycheck. All right, it's basically right at that trend line there. You got to like the 5 minute. 5 minute, nice hammer candle here. So is this thing kind of, and you look down here at the volume, nice volume. So is this thing revving its engines? Is it getting ready to make a push and at least do battle with the overnight high? What happens at the overnight high? I would say your guess is as good as mine, but yeah, interesting 5 minute here. Hammer is in motion. Is this fueling a rocket? All right, is this like part down here, like the fuel tank? That's not a fuel tank. F for fuel. Was it just getting fueled up and then? All right, so I'm not an artist. Let me just be honest with everybody. I'm not an artist. That may have been one of the worst fuel tanks I've ever seen. So don't call me Pablo. You can call me Fabio, but not Pablo. And no, not Pablo Escobar. The other Pablo. What? Yeah, very good. My wife got that right. She's like, Picasso? Correct. Do you know who Pablo Escobar is? Yeah, but do you know what he did? He's from Colombia. There's a hint. There you go, yeah. Drug guy. At our current house, our walls are paper thin, so my wife and I can literally have conversations just talking through walls. All right, back at the trend line. Maybe it'll push through. If it does, there's no really any other roadblocks until up here. Doesn't mean it'll go up there, but I wouldn't call you crazy for thinking that it could go up there. Look at the 21 EMA. Thing of beauty. 21 EMA right here began to act as support very nicely there. That was a little sketchy, but then boom, right back to acting as it beautifully right there. All right, got the breakout. Like I said, we're looking at the 5 minute. You know, that was kind of the, if you looked at this as kind of the fueling stage, fueling for the rocket. We'll see if we can get liftoff here. Who's Fabio? He plays shortstop for Seattle. Oh, I've been out. Yeah, I don't know baseball players anymore. Like when I was into baseball, it was Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey Jr., Pedro Martinez, Randy Johnson, Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Jose Canseco. Like those were the guys back then. Cal Ripken. But yeah, I have who's fought. Like I don't even know. I know that one, isn't he Japanese? That's like really good. I don't know his name though. He's like a pitcher, but he also hits home runs all the time. What's his name? And he's from Japan, isn't he? Who are baseball fans here? Like I said, I have baseball cards, all that stuff. No, I don't think that's Billy Madison. I think that's golf. Come on now. Toying with the longs. Come on. There were longs that bought that breakout. Just give it to them. Otani. Is he from Japan? I was referring to Moneyball, the movie with Brad. Oh, yeah, I've only seen that movie once, so I like to pride myself in movie quotes, but if I've only seen something once, my memory's not that good. Shohei Otani. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I just I stopped following sports quite a while ago. I'm still a big given I'm a graduate of the Ohio State University, I'm still pretty big into Ohio State football. But besides that, pro sports, I'm like, huh? All right, approaching that 21 EMA. Do we get another bounce from it? Very disappointed on that breakout. So if you were along and you bought that breakout, like I said, no guarantees, nothing works, but I wouldn't call you crazy. I'd be like, I see the logic. I would not say that you were behaving randomly or anything like that. But yeah, just a good example how no guarantees. Probably should have bought that because I could have put a stop down below. What is that? So let's just 710 down to a stop of 8. Oh, that's a 30-point stop. That's about $60. Do I want to risk this? Nah. How does it feel to be from the state? No, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as I'm from the state of Neil Armstrong, not those clowns. I am from the state of Neil Armstrong and 2 or 3 presidents. Grover Cleveland, Warren Harding. Was there one more president from Ohio? Yeah, that's who. We got a lot of famous people from there. The Wright brothers. The next time you're sitting in turbulence and your stomach's all over the place, make sure to thank those Wright brothers. Now, I know that I think they lifted off in North Carolina, but the Wright brothers are from Ohio. Yeah, I would have no interest in shorting here. None at all. I think of Les Niesman from WKRP. I don't know what WKRP is. Clay, you used to trade penny stock? Oh, yeah. That's where I got started. Penny stocks. Woo. Well, I didn't have a whole lot, and you could buy a lot of shares. Yeah, talking about yesterday. I thought I was gonna make it big with penny stocks. Well, yep, that's where I got my start. Back when I used to walk to school uphill both ways in my bare feet in 7 inches of snow, in 100-degree heat, in a blizzard, while it rained. Ah, so you're an old guy too then, Jay, huh? To think that penny stocks are still out there and to think that people still are in them, just it boggles my mind. Like there are just such better ways to approach the market and to trade the market. Hey, Erie Pages, I recognize you from the comments section. You left me some comments. I think you've been here before anyways. Traded NQ yesterday and today. Crazy how one contract can make me 3 times more the profits on trading TQQ even with, I know, Erie. So, were you convinced to try Pam's plant here? Is this the live stream that convinced you to give day trading futures a try through a prop firm? Or had you already been doing it? Jay, man. Well, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for still being here. Well, we won't get into that because I'll get into trouble because she can still hear me. And if I tell my version, she won't like it. Sam, what's the scoop on Pam's plant? Started over here this week. Pam's plant is just right here. Really, I'm not going to go through each point, but I'll just give you, this is Pam's plant. It is, if you're in the category of day trader, so you're either a day trader or you want to day trade, then my unbeatable strategy, my unbeatable argument is Pam's plant, which argues for trading futures and then using a prop firm to do so. And that's all the points of why it is unbeatable. Again, in the category of day trading, if you're looking to swing trade or invest, Pam's plant does not apply. But in the category of day trading, Pam's plant, trading futures through a prop firm, unbeatable. Nobody has been able to argue against this and explain to any of us how it's a bad idea, how it doesn't make sense. So that's Pam's plant. Actually, it was your last live I made from 3 weeks ago, I think. Okay, so Airy Pages. I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds to me like you used to day trade stocks or ETFs. Basically the same thing. You used to day trade those, but now you have switched over to Pam's plant, day trading futures through the prop firm, and it sounds like you absolutely love it. So is it true that Pam's plant, that I was not lying, like it's actually a good idea? Let me do this. Let me do this, Roger. Okay. So Roger, I'm just going to concede everything to Roger. Because how much have you made, or are you just another affiliate trader? Let me say this. Let's say I'll just, like I said, to make this the worst case scenario, Roger, and then that way we can address the actual argument. I made $0, and yes, I'm just an affiliate. That's it. I made $0 and I'm just an affiliate. So is it your argument, Roger, that somebody that's made $0 and is quote unquote just an affiliate is promoting a good idea? Or are you saying that somebody that's made $0 and is an affiliate is promoting a bad idea? So where do you stand? Because I'll concede. No money, and I'm just an affiliate. I'm just a scumbag. I'm just whatever negative thing you want to say. Let's just say that's true about me. So is it one of those negative things that's presenting a good idea? Or are you saying one of those negative things is presenting a bad idea? And if it's a bad idea, I'm curious, what exactly about this would you say is a bad idea? Airy Pages was a day trader of stocks and ETFs. Now transitioning to NQ. Yeah, it's actually. Okay. No, I'm not. I'm asking you. Like, my argument is for Pam's plant. So let's talk Pam's plant. Like I said, I'll concede all the other stuff. We'll just assume worst case scenario about me. Very intrigued. So I tell you what, Pam's plant right there. I've gone over it a million times. Pam's plant. What, do you have a specific question on it? I'd be happy to shore it up. So feel free to ask on it. But that's the problem. People are like, well, you're just an affiliate. You're just this. You're talking about me. You're not talking about the idea. So that's why I always just concede. Well, let's just assume that I'm a scumbag scammer. Is it your position that a scumbag scammer is presenting a good idea? Now, if it's a bad idea, that's fine. Let's talk about what makes this a bad idea. But I have not had anybody tell me how Pam's plant is a bad idea. For the category of day trading, again, that's very important. Some people have been like, well, so you don't own any stocks long term? I'm like, well, no, what you just described is investing. Yeah, I love stocks in the category of investing. Options can be great in the category of swing trading. You can do some really interesting stuff with options in the category of swing trading. But to day trade options, especially with theta working against you, ugh. But yeah, Roger, if you have any questions on Pam's plant, I'd be happy to let you know. I'm just saying, all the YouTuber traders or affiliates who can't them make money from the prop firms, I recommend. Okay, so again, I'll concede all that. What was, I'm just saying, okay, that's cool that you're just saying. I'm just trying to figure out how is it relevant to Pam's plant. All of YouTube traders are just affiliates who can't them make money from, okay, so you're just saying that we're all people that can't make money from prop firm. Okay, I'll concede that. I'm just an affiliate and I can't make money. Okay, so is it your case that somebody that is just an affiliate and can't make money is presenting a good idea? Is that your position? Like like I said, say whatever you want about me. That's fine. I'll just concede it. So let's. I'm a con man. So is it your position that a con man is presenting a good idea, or are you saying that a con man is presenting a bad idea? And if you think this is a bad idea, what do you think is a bad idea about it? But right now, as far as I can tell, like I said, I'll just take the negative. I'm a con man. So is it your position that a con man is presenting a good idea? Yeah, I'll just clump us all together. Every single YouTube trader is a con man or con woman. So is it your position that all of us as con men and con women are presenting a good idea by talking about prop firms? It seems to me that's your position, because you're not attacking the actual idea. You're just YouTubers this. Yeah, we call that an ad hominem fallacy. You're not attacking the argument. You're not attacking the idea. You're attacking the person making the argument. It's a logical fallacy. I'd be more willing to support a streamer by using their code if they can show they are, well, and that's fine. That's your prerogative. Anybody that's been watching the stream has seen me make plenty of money. I've had payouts, but I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. No problem with that. But that has nothing to do with Pam's plant. Again, I'm asking what is bad about Pam's plant, and you're just, you want to do all this other stuff. Again, I've said this from day one, and if you don't believe, that's also a nice thing about the live stream is it's all documented. So I can be like, I've been saying this from day one, and people could literally go check it out if they wanted to go through the hours of content. But like, I'm not here to make anybody think I'm a good trader. I'm here to promote Pam's plant because it's a good idea. That's my core motivation. That is my core motivation. I'm here to convert people from day trading stocks, options, crypto, or Forex to Pam's plant. And right now I'm batting 100% because our most recent example is Ari, where is his name? Ari Pages, was just saying, yeah, like a couple weeks ago, he was day trader of stocks and ETFs. And now he's gone to NQ full time. Big ups to Pam Plant. And he's like, yeah, I love it. Like everybody said that so far. Because you know why? It's a good idea. It's a good idea. But yeah, if your complaint is, so you're literally just said you're here to just promote a prop firm. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because it's a good idea. And if that rubs you the wrong way, no problem. But you have still not refuted the fact that it's a good idea. Prop firms are hard. Do you know what's hard, Roger? Trading is hard. That's what makes it hard. It's not the prop firm that makes it hard. Trading is hard. It is rare to find a trader who can actually make money through props. Well, then, yeah, you're hanging on with the wrong people. Swing into my chat room. No, like I said, I realize you're not hating on me. I really do. I am just conceding like that I'm in like I said, any negative thing. Scammer, con man, don't know what I'm doing, like anything. All I'm doing is I'm trying to bring us back to what's actually matters in this conversation. So that's why I realize you never called me a scammer. I'm just saying, let's just say that was the case. The position would still be, so a scammer is making a good idea. So it's like, okay, well, who cares if this person's a scammer or whatever? If it's a good idea, then it's a good idea, regardless of whoever's making it. So yes, I'm sorry if it came across as me saying that you're literally hating on me. I'm just conceding all of that about me so we could advance and turn the focus back to the conversation, which is Pam's plant. Oh, yeah, no, and I agree, yeah. Making money with prop firms is hard, but you know what's hard? Just making money in trading. But prop firms, I would argue, give you a longer life because in trading, if you're using your own money, because trading is hard, and you go and do something really stupid, and you lose, let's just say $3,000 because it's your own money. In the prop firm world, you didn't lose $3,000. Sure, you lost your account, but it only cost you $231. I think most people would be like, you know, if I'm going to have a whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot. If everybody's going to have that, I think most people would be like, I'd rather have that cost me $230 compared to $3,000, which is what it does. If you're going to use your own money, you could have the exact same situation, the exact same trader, exact same situation. One trader's using their own money, the other trader's using a prop firm. Both traders will be able to say, whoops, that was dumb, but I learned a lot because, again, it's the exact same situation. But one trader is going to be like, but, I'm glad that only cost me $230. The other trader is going to be like, ugh, that just cost me $3,000 of my own money. So, yeah. Prop firm trading is hard, but it's not because of the prop firms. It's just because trading is hard. If anything, prop firms are giving you a longer lifeline. They're giving you a longer runway to learn because you're not going to burn through your own cash as fast as if you take like a $3,000 loss. Yeah, so we're in agreement, Roger. That's a great statement. Trading is hard, yes, but prop firms teach you discipline, and I like them for that. 100%, Roger. 100%. Fully agree. And that is part of Pam's plant because you're asking about it. That's right down here. Added risk control. What you just described right there, the rules. The rules they put upon you are forcing you to think about, to focus on risk management, risk control. Absolutely, Roger. Fully 100% agree. Well said on your part. This is a good discussion. Good discussion. props actually helped me trade better. When I was trading options, I made money, but I was all over the place. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Hi, Clay. Can you explain copy trading? Yes. So you must have seen Pam's Plant. So copy trading with Take Profit Trader. Now, all prop firms have it, so I don't want to make it seem like it's unique. Well, I guess I can't say that because I don't know all prop firms. I think most prop firms have it. But with Take Profit Trader, you can have up to 5 accounts, and then you could make one trade. And let's just say that one trade, you make $100. But if you copy it to 4 other trades, then actually you just made $500 because, yeah, sure, you only made the one trade one time for $100, but because you copied it to those 4 other accounts, they also made the same exact trade. So one trade for $100, but you have it in those other accounts is actually, now you're up $500. Now, of course, that's a two-sided coin. If you're going to show up and just go off the rails, well, then that one trade that's a disaster is going to be copied to the 4 other accounts that's a disaster. So it's not like, but if the potential is definitely there. So that's what copy trading is. I want to be the trader I am without props. There you go. They suck when you're a beginner, but it will mold you into... Well said again, Roger. Yep. Yeah, so we are in agreement. I think Roger is saying Pam's Plant is a good idea. Yeah, so we're in agreement. The idea is good. And for all practical purposes, that's what matters, right? Just like even this. Like, let's just say I was just like... Well, I mean, that's kind of business. Like, people show... So, like... Tell them, or like late night infomercial marketing, I guess even now social media. Look, I'm such an old person. Late night telemarketing. People are like, what is this guy talking about? Sorry, I'm old. But like social media, like that's the logical fallacy they're harping upon. They are trying to do this to your brain. Look at this person with all their success. Therefore, what they say must be a good idea. That's backwards. That's a logical fallacy to just, and I'm not saying you're doing this, Roger. I'm just saying in general. But like that's what they're trying to do. That's why they show you all this fancy stuff. They're trying to say, look at me, I'm successful. Therefore, this thing is a good idea. No. Let's actually focus on the thing and look at the thing. Is it actually a good idea? Because it's certainly not a good idea just because you say it's a good idea. So same is true here. I could be showing you a bunch of money and a bunch of this, that, and the other. That doesn't mean that Pam's Plan is a good idea. Right? I mean, Pam's Plant may make no sense at all. Even though I'm saying it is, even though I'm showing all this stuff, that doesn't mean that Pam's Plant as an idea is actually a good idea. But that's why I'm just like, let me just concede the other side. Let me just say, no, I'm a scammer. I know nothing. I'm a terrible trader, blah, 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 all that. Let's just say that's true. So the position at that point would be all that negative stuff, all that, again. So a con man is making a good idea. Now, again, it's a much different thing if it's con man's making a bad idea, but at least we're talking about the idea. So that's all marketing is on social media, is they're trying to get your brain to do that logical fallacy. Oh, because I see all this glitz and glamour, therefore what they're saying is good. No, that's not why it would be good. It's good because you got to look at the actual idea and see if it's good. Like I said, I'm willing to talk about Pam's Plant. I don't need to play those games. I don't need to be on a yacht right now to be like, yeah, see it. No, I'll talk. Look at me. I'm in like a dungy. Like what? Look at this. Look at that. What? Huh? Bring it on. Let's talk Pam's Plant. Let's talk the idea. I don't need to play any like psychological games. I'll take this idea head on. Let's go. And again, I'm batting 100. Everybody that's tried. Erie Pages is the most recent person in the chat. Thank you very much for saying, hey, I used to do this, but I tried Pam's Plant. Wow, Clay, you're actually right. It is way better, and man, my risk is way less than it was. Clay would also provide some basic training of what steps you take when you actually trade with this platform. Yeah, I can do it. In fact, thank you for asking. I'm one step ahead of you. If I can remember what I titled it, let me think. I should probably just do it. I think this will bring it up. Now, I don't know if this is yeah, there it is. I don't know if this is a good or bad idea on my part. Because like if I put this in the chat room, does that mean I'm gonna lose a bunch of viewers because they're gonna go check this out? That's okay. That's all right. But yes, if you want to learn how I set up and go through like a step-by-step, then this video will do that. So I'll have to watch the viewers right now, see if it goes down. Oh, wow. We're almost at 3 hours. Can we get this up to at least 150 likes? If you have not hit the like button, if you want the party to go a little bit beyond 3 hours, which I will do, but let's get this up to 150 likes. Or I guess, I don't know, $10 in super chats. There we go. I liked it. That was good. Me and Roger agreed the entire time about the idea. I understand where he's coming from, but my point is it doesn't matter. I'm here to promote the idea. If you think I'm a terrible trader, that's fine. At this point, it is what it is. And the other thing I've learned over the years is you can't convince anybody if they don't want to be convinced. It's like, and I've had people, well, you just post, like, because my live trade series that I've done for years upon years, well, you just post your winning trades. You hide the losing trades. And then I send them like a bunch of videos where I'm going over these dumb moves. And in fact, like, you know, so I'll send them a video like this. Where is that? Okay. These are some of the more popular. Okay. But anyway, so I'll like, you only post your winning trades. So it's like, okay. And then I'll send them a video. I mean, really, this isn't even the right way to go about it. But like right there, like I didn't need to like share that with anybody. Like if their premise was true, I'm hiding stuff, then I wouldn't post that. And then they shift the goalpost. Yeah, well then you get luck, and then it's like, did you ever make money? It's like, well, I've done lots of videos where I show, like, usually I'll do it if I can show like some sort of learning lesson. Well, no, those aren't real. That's photoshopped. And then eventually it just goes to the point where it boils down to, I want to see audited financials. And it's like, okay, here are the audited financials. And then they'll still be like, yeah, but you paid off the accountant. You paid them off. That's why they're audited. So some people at the end of the day just don't want to be convinced. That's why I've learned just from like this, I'm just going to concede all that. That's all just side drama. Let's focus on the idea of Pam's plan. Everything else, we'll just assume worst case scenario because it's such a distraction. And some people, they're never going to be convinced. You could literally show them audited financials and then they'll still accuse you of that not being real because you've paid off the audit or because you've paid off the accountant. So, hey Clay, so if a 25K pro account, if you happen to go up like 10K in profit, the 1500 drawdown go away. Yeah, it stops following you. Yep. After you meet the drawdown, it'll stop following you. And then after that point, you have the decision to make. Do you want to start to take money out or do you want to leave it in there? Because if you leave it in there, then you build up your buffer. So in theory, you could take, a $7,000 losing trade, but not lose the account because you have enough of a buffer. Now, the flip side of that is, but if that happens and you build a buffer, but then you still lose it, well, all your gains are lost too. So that's a big talking point. A lot of opinions out there. Do you start to take money out and pay yourself or do you leave money in there to build a buffer? A lot of schools of thought, on that topic. Oh, all right. 5 minute. Look at this. Come on. 5 minute right at the pivot point. So let's see. Ooh, just kind of breaking down. All right. I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested in this at the 200 period down here. I think I answered your question, JMO. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah. Does it go away? Yes, it goes away. It stops following you. And then you can either leave it right at that spot or you can start to, build buffer. Quite the bounce. Or is this just a back test? All right. I'll do this. If it wants to get, let's see. Okay, so we'll 75 up to 700. So that's a 25 point risk. That's 40. About 50. Yeah, I'll do 50 points. Or I'm sorry, $50. So about right there. We'll go up a little bit more. Okay, sell. And then my stop right there. Buy. So there we go. About $50 on the line. Looking for this to come up here. Does it want to back test? So come up here, back test this area right here, and then roll back over. So about $50 on the line here. Am I doing MNQ? I am doing MNQ. We'll see. Because, I mean, it's very clearly in a downtrend. So it's just a question of, does this downtrend want to continue? We've had several bounces now get rejected. So is this going to come up here and get rejected back down? Maybe not. If it doesn't, all right, 50 bucks. If it does, then we'll see if I can make more than 50 bucks. But as of right now, it's looking like it might just leave me behind. Like dust in the wind, all we are is... Let's go, 7 more likes. Let's get this up to 150 likes. Can we do it by the 3-hour mark? 4 minutes. If you have not yet hit that like button, and if you're enjoying, please do that. Also subscribe and turn on your notifications. I am kind of starting to hop on. I mean, I say 11 a.m. Eastern of when I get on, but I'm starting to hop on even earlier than that. So if you want to be notified when that's the case, then subscribe button and notifications will let you know. I don't know. I feel free to spit at this trend line. Maybe I'm trying to fit a square peg through a round hole, but I'm going to throw that in there. We'll see how it behaves. Well, Frank, that's what happens. That is true. I mean, that stuff happens in the real world. That has happened to me too with real money. You something happens, you leave an order out there and it's opened, or you don't set, there's something, just a logistical error. It has nothing to do with like your trade plan. It has nothing to do with anything like that. It's just life happens. You get distracted and all of a sudden, oh no. And in this situation, it cost Frank $4,000, but because of the prop firm, it didn't actually cost Frank $4,000. He lost his account, but because it only cost him $100 for the account, technically speaking, out of his pocket was not $4,000, only $100. But if Frank was using his own money and that occurred, that same exact situation, but he's using his own money, oh my goodness, $4,000 gone. That's crazy. That's what I mean. Like, how does it make sense to not use prop firms? When I first started trading, you were one of the first channels I came across. How time flies. Yeah, I've been around a while, Roger. I'm at the point now where I'm like the old YouTuber that yells, "Get off my lawn." Started the channel back in 2013. Where does time go? Frank, you need to just sign up for the program. Like, if you want to learn, dude, you got to sign up for that. Because in all actuality, for all you know, you are building so many bad habits right now, and you don't even know about it. But I'm telling you, brand new people have the best advantage. They get to skip a step. They get to skip having to break bad habits. All right, we are approaching... Actually, I'm going to go up a little bit more, get it closer to that 50 period moving average, that purple line there. So yeah, now my risk is even smaller, so not even going to be 50 bucks. Oh, close. Low probability trade, but we'll see if I can get paid. Low probability trade, but I'm willing to take it because it's not going to be a whole lot of skin off my teeth. I don't know if that's the right saying. Okay, I'm going to move that up a little bit more. Like I said, I'm looking for a rejection. Rejection off the 50. I'm not getting much wiggle room, but that's all right. In. Let's see. Is it going to reject, or is it going to just keep pushing? And if it does, so be it. Let's see if it wants to come down. I know I'm in the green, but let's see if I can get paid now. Needs to come down more. Has not come down enough for me to move my stop loss into for sure winning trade territory. I'll leave it up there for now. Yeah, it didn't give me enough room. I think I'm going to get stopped now. It just did not give me enough room. I needed to come down more for me to be able to move my stop loss down. Come on. Okay, that's good enough. There we go. So this will now be a winning trade. Now it's just a question of, can I get more push? Come on. Push down. Nope. All right. So still a winning trade, but I did not get the flush down. Well, tried, didn't work out. Oh well. To your thing?
Yeah.
You need to talk real quick? You got to give me anything?
Yeah, if you want to come down in a little bit. I don't know.
All right, yeah. Oh yeah, I'm almost done. How long, when are you leaving?
I don't know, like next 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't, that's okay.
Yeah, I gave it a try. I played it right. I was in the position. My stop loss was in the green. And at this point, it's just a matter of, are you coming down? And nope, it's not. So took me out, but took me out for a small winner. I was there, though. All right. Well, my wife is actually heading out for like a women's type of weekend thing. So I'm going to go ahead and call it good. We're at 3 hours. And this was a good stream, but like I said, I don't know how good this mic is, but she says I'm heading out in 5 to 10 minutes. So that I am gonna be. We're doing Saturday morning coffee. I think it'll be at 10 a.m. Eastern because I'm on Central Time. So I've done this before. Laid back environment. I will put a thing so it should show up for a scheduled thing. But if you're around tomorrow morning, again 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We just kind of hang out, look at some charts, try to prep for the new week. I'll be doing that. So if you are interested and around for that, make sure to check that out. And if you have not yet, make sure you hit that like button. And if we could get this over 150 likes, that'd be fantastic. But hit that like button. If you're enjoying, make sure you subscribe. And yeah, that's all I have. So good. I'm glad I took that stop, huh? Goodness. But yeah, I got to get going. So everybody have a good one. And if you're around tomorrow morning, I'll see you then. If not, take care. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you back on Sunday. Have a good one, everybody.